It's time to step into a version of yourself that you've always known was possible, the one who walks with quiet confidence, unshaken by the noise of the world. A version of you that doesn't crumble under criticism or seek approval to feel whole. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's within reach. The change begins not in grand gestures, but in small, powerful shifts in how you view yourself and the life you're building. For so many, self-esteem feels like a fragile thread, stretched too thin by the weight of comparison, judgment, and unmet expectations. You've likely felt the sting of doubting your own worth, questioning whether you're good enough, smart enough, or deserving enough, and you're not alone. These struggles are deeply human, but they are not permanent. What if you could replace that thread with something unbreakable, a foundation so strong that no setback, no rejection, no harsh word could shake it? The secret lies in transforming how you define yourself. Most of us are taught to tie our worth to fleeting things, success, appearance, possessions, or the opinions of others. But what happens when those things falter or disappear? The foundation cracks, and we feel lost. But there's another way, one rooted in ancient wisdom that has stood the test of time. A way to find strength, not in what happens to you, but in who you choose to be. The truth is, your worth has never been tied to anything external. It's not in your job title, the number of friends you have, or how much money sits in your bank account. It's in your character, your values, and your ability to navigate life with grace, courage, and resilience. When you learn to anchor yourself in these internal qualities, you create a self-esteem that can weather any storm. At its core, this transformation isn't about fixing yourself because you are not broken. It's about uncovering the layers of doubt and negativity that have built up over time, obscuring the incredible strength that's already within you. You don't need to become someone else to feel worthy. You need to reconnect with the essence of who you are. This journey begins by stepping away from the distractions of the world and turning inward. The world will always have opinions about who you should be or what you should do. But the moment you start living according to those opinions, you hand over your power. Reclaiming it means learning to value your own voice above the noise. Think of the people you admire most. Chances are their confidence doesn't come from arrogance or seeking validation. It comes from living authentically, aligning their actions with their values, and trusting in their ability to handle life's challenges. This isn't reserved for the select few. It's available to anyone willing to do the inner work. And when you start building your self-esteem from the inside out, you'll notice something incredible. You no longer depend on others to feel good about yourself. You stop shrinking in the face of judgment and start standing tall in the truth of who you are. This shift isn't always easy. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the old patterns try to pull you back into seeking approval or fearing rejection. But every step forward, no matter how small, strengthens your foundation. It's in those moments of choosing growth over comfort, authenticity over fear, that you begin to build something indestructible. This path isn't just about feeling better, it's about becoming better. It's about turning challenges into opportunities, criticism into feedback, and failures into stepping stones. It's about letting go of the things that no longer serve you, negative self-talk, unhealthy attachments, and the fear of not measuring up, and replacing them with habits and mindsets that empower you. There's a power in learning to value yourself for who you are, not for who the world wants you to be. When you tap into that power, you'll find a sense of freedom that few ever experience. You'll stop needing to prove your worth and start living from a place of unshakable self-respect. This isn't a quick fix or a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a deeply personal journey, one that requires patience, commitment, and a willingness to face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. But it's worth it, Because when you do this work, you don't just build self-esteem, you build a life that reflects the best of who you are. And this isn't just about you. When you strengthen your self-esteem, you become a source of strength for others. You set an example for your friends, family, and even strangers. You show them what it looks like to live with integrity, courage, and kindness. Your growth ripples outward, inspiring those around you to see their own worth more clearly. So, if you've ever felt like self-esteem is something you'll never fully grasp, know this: you're not alone, and you're not stuck. You have the power to redefine how you see yourself and how you show up in the world. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming whole. And the steps you take today can lead to a confidence that doesn't just survive life's challenges, but thrives in spite of them. The journey ahead is one of discovery, of reconnecting with the unshakable strength and value that have been within you all along. It's about learning to see yourself through a lens of compassion and respect, letting go of the need for perfection and embracing the beauty of progress. Today is the day to begin, to stop waiting for others to validate your worth and start building it for yourself, to release the weight of self-doubt and step into the quiet, steady confidence that comes from knowing you are enough, just as you are. What lies ahead is not a destination, but a transformation, one that will change not just how you see yourself, but how you experience the world around you. Are you ready to take the first step? Because the life you've been searching for, the one filled with confidence, resilience, and a deep sense of self-worth, is already within your reach. All it takes is the decision to begin. Let's walk this path together. The foundation for building unshakable self-esteem begins with a truth that's both liberating and challenging. Your worth has never depended on external approval. It's a simple truth, but one often obscured by a lifetime of messages that tell us otherwise. The world subtly, and sometimes loudly, teaches us to measure ourselves against shifting standards, the admiration of others, the validation of success, the number of people who agree that we are enough. But when you chase validation from the outside, you run a race with no finish line. There's a quiet power in realizing that the opinions of others don't have to define you. This shift from external validation to internal grounding doesn't just change how you feel about yourself. It transforms your entire way of being. It allows you to move through life with a calm, steady confidence, unshaken by criticism or the fear of rejection. This is where the journey truly begins, with the decision to root your self-worth in your values, your integrity, and your character. External validation feels good in the moment. A kind word, a promotion, or a compliment can boost your mood. But it's fleeting, like water slipping through your fingers. When you rely on these moments to define your worth, you place your self-esteem in the hands of others, leaving it vulnerable to their opinions, moods, and even their insecurities. This dependency creates a cycle of constant seeking, where every ounce of approval feels like a lifeline, and every ounce withheld feels like a blow. Breaking free from this cycle is one of the most empowering things you can do. The key lies in understanding that external validation is never as stable or as fulfilling as internal validation. External praise is conditional. It can be influenced by biases, misunderstandings, or fleeting emotions. But the worth you cultivate within yourself, through your actions, choices, and alignment with your values, is unshakable. It's not dependent on others because it comes from a source that no one else controls: you. To start this transformation, focus on the qualities and actions that make you feel proud of who you are. Think about the moments when you've stood by your principles, even when it was difficult. Reflect on the times you've been kind, honest, or courageous. These moments hold a mirror to your true self, showing you that your value isn't tied to what you have or what others think, but to who you are. This shift also requires an honest examination of where you've been seeking validation. It's not easy to admit, but many of us tie our self-esteem to things that are out of our control. A partner's affection, a manager's recognition, or even the number of likes on a social media post can feel like measurements of worth. But when you step back and ask, what does this really say about me? The answer often reveals how little these external markers reflect your true character. By redirecting your focus inward, you begin to see your worth as something intrinsic. It's in the way you treat others, the effort you put into your work, the resilience you show in tough times. It's in the quiet moments when no one is watching, and you choose to do the right thing simply because it aligns with your values. This is where self-esteem begins to take root. Building self-esteem this way isn't about ignoring others or shutting yourself off from relationships and community. Instead, it's about rebalancing the scales. Instead of letting external approval outweigh your own sense of self, you start valuing your internal voice more. You become less reliant on others to feel whole and more connected to the qualities that make you proud to be yourself. One of the most powerful tools for this shift is self-reflection. Take time to ask yourself, what do I value most in life? What qualities do I admire in others, and how can I embody those qualities? When have I felt most proud of myself, and what did I do to feel that way? These questions guide you toward the values and actions that resonate with your true self, helping you align your life with what matters most. Another critical part of this process is letting go of comparison. Comparison is one of the quickest ways to lose sight of your intrinsic worth. When you measure yourself against others, you often focus on their highlights while ignoring your own strengths. This creates a distorted view, one that undermines your confidence and fuels unnecessary self-doubt. By focusing instead on your growth and progress, you shift the narrative from, "Am I as good as them?" to, "Am I becoming the best version of myself?" Detaching from external validation also means recognizing that not everyone's opinion deserves space in your mind. Some people's judgments reflect more about their insecurities than your reality. Learning to discern whose feedback is constructive and whose is harmful is an essential skill. Seek input from those who share your values and want to see you grow, but don't let every passing comment shake your confidence. At the heart of this transformation is the idea of self-respect. Self-respect grows when you consistently act in ways that align with your values, even when no one else acknowledges it. It's in the courage to speak up for yourself, the integrity to follow through on your commitments, and the discipline to do what's right, even when it's inconvenient. These actions send a message to yourself. I am worthy, not because someone says I am, but because I choose to live in a way that reflects my true character. This journey also involves embracing imperfection. No one gets it right all the time, and tying your worth to being flawless is a trap. Instead, focus on learning and growing. Each mistake is an opportunity to reflect, adjust, and strengthen your character. When you stop fearing failure, you stop needing external validation to feel okay. You begin to trust yourself to navigate life's challenges, knowing that your worth isn't at stake. Cultivating internal validation doesn't mean you'll never appreciate external recognition again. Compliments, achievements, and support from others will still feel good. They're a natural part of being human, but they'll become bonuses rather than necessities. You'll no longer depend on them to feel whole because your sense of worth will come from a deeper, more stable place. When you live from this internal grounding, you become more resilient. Criticism, rejection, or failure may still sting, but they won't shake your foundation. You'll have the clarity to see these moments for what they are, temporary challenges, not reflections of your worth. And with that clarity comes freedom. The freedom to live authentically, to take risks, and to pursue your goals without the constant fear of falling short in others' eyes. This process isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Each step you take to value yourself more, to align your actions with your principles, and to let go of the need for external approval strengthens your self-esteem. It's a journey, not a destination, and every small effort contributes to the unshakable foundation you're building. As you move forward, remember that this shift takes time and patience. Be kind to yourself as you unlearn old patterns and embrace new ways of thinking. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and trust that with each step, you're creating a self-esteem that is truly indestructible. You're not just changing how you see yourself, you're transforming how you experience life. And that transformation is the key to lasting confidence, resilience, and peace. When you free yourself from the need for external validation, a profound sense of calm begins to take root. This calm is the foundation for emotional independence, the ability to hold your confidence steady, even when others don't see your worth or treat you with the respect you deserve. It's a shift that transforms how you respond to life's ups and downs, not with a reactive heart, but with unshakable clarity. Emotional independence is not about isolating yourself or cutting ties with the people around you. Instead, it's about reclaiming your power. Too often, we let others dictate how we feel, reacting to their words, actions, or even silence, as if our self-worth depends on their approval. This approach leaves us vulnerable, swinging between self-doubt and fleeting confidence based on forces we can't control. Emotional independence offers an alternative, a steady inner strength that grows from knowing who you are and staying true to that knowledge. The first step toward this independence is recognizing that others' opinions are reflections of their perceptions, biases, and experiences, not an absolute truth about you. Their words may carry a sting, but they hold no power unless you allow them to. This doesn't mean dismissing every piece of feedback, but it does mean learning to discern what's valuable and what's not. When someone criticizes you unfairly, it's often more about their struggles than your shortcomings. Understanding this simple fact can be liberating. This also requires a shift in focus. Instead of seeking affirmation from others, turn inward and evaluate yourself by your standards. Ask yourself if your actions align with your values, if you're treating others with kindness, and if you're pursuing goals that matter to you. When your self-assessment comes from within, external opinions lose their grip. Whether someone praises or dismisses you, your confidence remains grounded in the knowledge that you are living authentically. Another key to emotional independence is embracing the reality that you cannot control how others think or feel about you. Trying to please everyone is an impossible task that drains energy and erodes confidence. Even when you act with the best intentions, others may misinterpret your actions or project their insecurities onto you. Emotional independence means letting go of the need to be liked by everyone and instead focusing on being true to yourself. When you stop chasing approval, you gain the freedom to make choices that align with your well-being. It's also essential to create boundaries, not just with others, but with your inner dialogue. When someone criticizes or dismisses you, it's easy to internalize their words, replaying them until they become part of your self-narrative. Emotional independence involves challenging these negative thoughts and replacing them with affirming truths. Instead of letting someone else's opinion define you, remind yourself of your strengths, accomplishments, and values. This practice creates a mental shield that protects your self-esteem from external negativity. Resilience is another cornerstone of emotional independence. Life will inevitably bring challenges, rejections, and conflicts. These moments can feel like personal failures if your worth is tied to others' perceptions. But when you view them through the lens of resilience, they become opportunities to grow stronger. Each time you navigate a difficult situation without letting it shake your confidence, you reinforce your emotional independence. Over time, these experiences become proof of your inner strength. Cultivating emotional independence also requires practicing self-compassion. It's easy to be your harshest critic, especially when you feel judged or undervalued by others. But self-compassion shifts the narrative, allowing you to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. This practice helps you recover from setbacks, silence self-doubt, and maintain confidence even in the face of external negativity. Another powerful tool is mindfulness. By staying present, you can observe your reactions to others' words and actions without being consumed by them. Mindfulness creates a space between stimulus and response, allowing you to choose how to react instead of being swept up in emotion. This awareness strengthens your ability to maintain calm and clarity, even in challenging interactions. Building emotional independence doesn't mean you'll never feel hurt or disappointed by others. Those feelings are part of being human, but it does mean that you'll recover more quickly and won't let those moments define you. Over time, you'll develop a deep-seated confidence that remains steady regardless of how others treat you. It's also important to surround yourself with people who support your growth. While emotional independence means not relying on others for validation, having a supportive community can provide encouragement and perspective. Choose relationships that uplift and inspire you rather than drain your energy or make you question your worth. These connections can serve as reminders of your value without being the source of it. Practicing gratitude can further reinforce emotional independence. By focusing on what you appreciate about yourself and your life, you shift your attention away from what others think or say. Gratitude fosters a sense of contentment and self-assurance, reminding you that your worth isn't tied to external approval. Remember that emotional independence is a journey, not a destination. It's a skill that grows with practice and patience. Each time you choose to prioritize your inner voice over external opinions, you take another step toward freedom. The process may be challenging, but the reward, a deep, unshakable confidence, is worth every effort. As you continue to cultivate this independence, you'll find that your sense of self becomes a source of strength, guiding you through life with resilience, clarity, and peace. As you grow into emotional independence, the next layer of strength emerges, the mastery of self-control. This is where your inner power truly begins to shine. It's the ability to remain calm when the world around you stirs chaos, to respond with clarity rather than reacting impulsively. Self-control is not about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them, harnessing them, and channeling them toward actions that align with your values. In this lies a profound transformation, one that fortifies your self-esteem and empowers you to navigate life with wisdom and grace. When you respond instead of reacting, you take control of the moment rather than letting the moment control you. Reaction is instinctive, driven by raw emotion and often laced with regret. Response, however, is intentional. It's rooted in awareness and shaped by deliberate thought. Each time you respond thoughtfully to a challenge, you strengthen your confidence in your ability to handle life's complexities. Self-control is the practice that sharpens this skill. Mastering self-control begins with understanding the triggers that lead to impulsive reactions. Triggers are like fuel for emotional fires. Someone's harsh words, an unexpected setback, or even an innocent misunderstanding can ignite them. By identifying these triggers, you gain the power to pause before acting. This pause is not passive, It's a moment of profound strength. It allows you to assess the situation, recognize your emotional state, and choose a response that aligns with your values rather than your immediate feelings. The Stoics understood the power of this pause. They taught that emotions are natural but should not dictate our actions. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, reminded himself daily that external events cannot harm the soul unless we let them. This philosophy is not about ignoring emotions, but about creating space to reflect and decide how to act. It's this reflection that transforms reaction into response and strengthens your sense of control. One of the most effective ways to cultivate self-control is through mindfulness. Mindfulness trains your mind to stay present, helping you observe your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. It's not about denying your feelings, but about sitting with them, understanding their source, and allowing them to pass without dictating your behavior. When practiced consistently, mindfulness becomes a tool for emotional regulation, enabling you to navigate even the most challenging situations with composure. Another aspect of self-control is understanding that not every battle is worth fighting. Sometimes the strongest response is to walk away or let go. This isn't about avoiding conflict, but about choosing your battles wisely. Responding with wisdom means asking yourself whether engaging in a situation will serve your long-term peace and goals. By letting go of the need to always be right or to have the last word, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and strengthen your inner calm. Self-control also extends to how you handle success and praise. Just as it's important not to let criticism shake your confidence, it's equally vital not to let praise inflate your ego. Balance is key. When you remain grounded in both success and failure, you build a stable foundation for your self-esteem. This balance allows you to celebrate achievements without becoming dependent on external validation, and to learn from failures without letting them define you. Developing self-control involves recognizing the power of language, both the words you speak to others and the inner dialogue you maintain with yourself. Words are powerful tools that can heal or harm. By choosing your words carefully, you not only improve your relationships, but also reinforce your self-respect. Internally, replacing self-critical language with constructive and compassionate self-talk can help you stay calm and focused during emotionally charged moments. Another pillar of self-control is patience. Patience is the quiet strength that allows you to endure challenges without succumbing to frustration or despair. It's not passive waiting, but active perseverance, trusting that with time and effort, progress will come. Patience strengthens self-control by teaching you to resist the urge for immediate gratification or quick fixes. This discipline builds resilience and reinforces the belief that you can handle life's uncertainties with grace. Self-control is also about setting boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. This includes recognizing when you're overextending or pushing yourself too hard and having the discipline to rest and recharge. Boundaries protect your energy and focus, ensuring that you can respond effectively to challenges without becoming overwhelmed. They also reinforce your self-worth by reminding you that it's okay to prioritize your well-being. Learning to manage stress is another critical aspect of self-control. Stress often fuels impulsive reactions, clouding judgment and leading to decisions you later regret. By developing healthy coping mechanisms, such as deep breathing, exercise, or journaling, you can reduce the intensity of your emotional responses and approach situations with greater clarity. These practices not only improve your ability to handle stress, but also enhance your overall emotional resilience. Building self-control requires consistency. It's not about being perfect, but about practicing daily. Each time you pause before reacting, choose patience over frustration, or speak with kindness instead of anger, you reinforce the habit of self-control. Over time, these small, deliberate actions compound, creating a powerful sense of confidence in your ability to navigate life's challenges. When you master self-control, you become less reactive to external pressures and more aligned with your inner values. This alignment creates a sense of integrity, a knowing that your actions reflect who you truly are. This integrity strengthens your self-esteem as it reinforces the belief that you are capable of handling whatever life throws your way. The path to mastering self-control is not linear. There will be moments when emotions get the best of you, and that's okay. Each slip is an opportunity to learn and grow. By reflecting on these moments, you can identify patterns, understand what triggered your reaction, and prepare yourself to respond more effectively in the future. This process of continuous learning and growth is what makes self-control a lifelong practice. Ultimately, self-control is about empowerment. It's about reclaiming your ability to choose how you respond to the world, rather than being a prisoner to your emotions or circumstances. This empowerment is the foundation of a resilient, unshakable self-esteem. As you continue to cultivate self-control, you'll find that your confidence grows not from the absence of challenges, but from your ability to face them with wisdom and grace. This is the quiet, steady strength that transforms how you see yourself and how you move through life. As self-control strengthens your ability to respond with wisdom, another profound lesson emerges: the power of embracing impermanence. Nothing in life is permanent, neither joy nor pain, neither triumph nor failure. This truth can feel unsettling, yet within it lies the secret to profound stability and peace. When you stop resisting change and start accepting the transient nature of all things, you free yourself from clinging to what is temporary and step into a state of unshakable self-worth. Holding on to the belief that things must remain constant creates tension. Whether it's a relationship, a role, or an identity, the need for permanence can make life feel heavy. But when you learn to let go, you lighten that burden. This is not about detachment in the sense of indifference. It's about freeing yourself from the fear of loss and understanding that change is not your enemy. Instead, it is a natural rhythm that carries you forward, allowing growth and renewal. Life's impermanence can teach you to value the present. Often, people overlook what they have now, clinging to memories of the past or fears of the future. But the fleeting nature of time is what makes the present so precious. By learning to be fully engaged in each moment, you nurture gratitude and cultivate a deeper connection with yourself. This mindfulness also brings clarity, helping you see that your worth is not tied to any one phase of life, but to the way you move through its changes. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It is a profound act of strength. It requires courage to release what no longer serves you, whether it's a toxic relationship, a limiting belief, or an outdated goal. Holding on too tightly to things can create a false sense of security, but it often traps you in a cycle of stagnation. Letting go, on the other hand, allows space for new opportunities, perspectives, and growth. Change, though often feared, is one of life's greatest teachers. It reveals what truly matters by stripping away the illusions of control. Each time you face a transition, whether planned or unexpected, you have the opportunity to discover your resilience. Adapting to change builds confidence in your ability to navigate life's uncertainties, strengthening your sense of self-worth in the process. This adaptability is not about being unaffected by change. It's about learning to bend without breaking. Loss is an inevitable part of impermanence, and while it brings pain, it also brings perspective. When you face loss, whether it's the end of a chapter, a relationship, or a long-held dream, it can feel like a part of you is slipping away. But loss also creates space for something new to emerge. By embracing the lessons that come with it, you transform grief into growth. This shift allows you to carry forward the wisdom of what you've experienced without being weighed down by what's gone. Impermanence also teaches you to let go of perfection. The pursuit of an ideal, whether in your career, appearance, or achievements, can be exhausting and unfulfilling. Recognizing that nothing stays the same allows you to release the pressure to have everything figured out. Instead, you can focus on progress, appreciating your journey rather than striving for an impossible standard. This perspective fosters self-compassion, reminding you that growth is a process, not a destination. Another profound aspect of embracing impermanence is recognizing that your identity is not fixed. Who you are today is not who you were 10 years ago, nor who you will be in the future. This fluidity is liberating, allowing you to evolve and redefine yourself as life unfolds. When you stop clinging to a rigid sense of self, you open the door to discovering new strengths, interests, and possibilities. Letting go also extends to expectations, both of yourself and others. Unrealistic expectations often lead to disappointment, creating a cycle of frustration and self-doubt. By releasing these expectations, you free yourself to experience life more fully, accepting it as it is rather than as you think it should be. This acceptance strengthens your self-worth by reminding you that your value isn't contingent on meeting external standards. Impermanence can also deepen your relationships. When you accept that connections may change over time, you approach them with greater appreciation and presence. This awareness encourages you to express gratitude, forgiveness, and love more freely, knowing that these moments are fleeting. It also allows you to let go of relationships that no longer align with your values, creating space for those that uplift and inspire you. Understanding impermanence also reshapes how you view setbacks and failures. Instead of seeing them as permanent marks on your self-esteem, you begin to see them as temporary experiences that contribute to your growth. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone, a chance to build resilience and learn something valuable. This shift in perspective empowers you to face difficulties with confidence, knowing that they too will pass. Embracing impermanence helps you detach from material possessions and external achievements. While it's natural to enjoy these things, tying your self-worth to them creates instability. When possessions are lost or achievements fade, you may feel diminished. By recognizing their transient nature, you shift your focus to what truly endures: your character, your values, and the way you treat yourself and others. This practice also invites you to find meaning in life's transitions. Each ending marks the beginning of something new, and every phase of life offers unique opportunities for growth and self-discovery. By approaching transitions with curiosity rather than resistance, you cultivate a sense of adventure and openness. This mindset not only strengthens your confidence, but also helps you find joy in unexpected places. Learning to embrace impermanence also fosters gratitude for what you have while you have it. The fleeting nature of life reminds you to cherish your relationships, experiences, and even the small moments of everyday joy. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's present, reinforcing your sense of abundance and self-worth. At its core, embracing impermanence is about trusting in your ability to adapt and thrive, no matter what changes come your way. This trust grows each time you face a challenge and come out stronger on the other side. It reminds you that your worth is not tied to external circumstances, but to the way you choose to respond to them. As you continue to accept life's transient nature, you'll find a sense of peace that transcends the chaos of change. This peace doesn't come from avoiding loss or uncertainty, but from embracing them as natural parts of the human experience. It's a peace rooted in self-assurance, knowing that you are enough, no matter what changes around you. The more you practice letting go and embracing impermanence, the more stable your self-worth becomes. You stop seeking permanence in things that are meant to change and start finding strength in the one constant you can rely on, yourself. This is the foundation for a life of resilience, contentment, and unshakable confidence. As you embrace the reality of impermanence and find strength in letting go, another challenge often emerges: the voice of self-doubt within. This inner critic has a way of whispering, and sometimes shouting, negativity that undermines your confidence and worth. It thrives on past mistakes, perceived flaws, and the fear of failure. Yet, silencing this critic is not about ignoring it. It's about transforming it. It's about replacing the harsh narratives it spins with a kinder, stronger voice that encourages growth and self-acceptance. The inner critic often masquerades as a helpful guide, pretending to protect you from failure or judgment. But in reality, it's rooted in fear and conditioned by past experiences. Its words are rarely objective and often exaggerated. Recognizing this distortion is the first step in dismantling its power. The next time your inner critic speaks, pause and question its accuracy. Is the criticism factual, or is it an assumption? Separating truth from fear can help you see the narrative for what it is: a story, not a fact. To further challenge the inner critic, it's essential to identify where its voice originated. For many, it stems from past experiences, harsh words from authority figures, comparisons to others, or societal pressures. By tracing the roots of these negative beliefs, you can begin to understand that they are not inherently yours. They are echoes of external influences that you've internalized over time. Acknowledging this allows you to start separating your true self from these inherited judgments. One powerful way to counteract negative self-talk is through reframing. When the inner critic focuses on failure, reframing shifts the perspective to growth. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," you can say, "I'm learning and improving every day." This shift doesn't deny challenges, but places them in a constructive context. It transforms self-defeating thoughts into opportunities for resilience and progress. Another effective technique is to replace judgment with curiosity. When your inner critic highlights a mistake, rather than spiraling into self-blame, ask yourself what you can learn from the experience. Curiosity opens the door to understanding and growth, while judgment only reinforces feelings of inadequacy. This shift in perspective helps you approach yourself with kindness, fostering a more supportive inner dialogue. Practicing self-compassion is a cornerstone of silencing the inner critic. This means treating yourself with the same empathy and understanding you would offer a close friend. Self-compassion doesn't excuse poor behavior or mistakes, but it allows you to address them without the weight of harsh criticism. By affirming your humanity and acknowledging that everyone faces struggles, you begin to quiet the voice that tells you you're alone in your imperfections. Gratitude can also play a transformative role in challenging the inner critic. When negativity takes hold, shifting your focus to what you appreciate about yourself creates a counterbalance. This isn't about ignoring areas for improvement, but recognizing your strengths and accomplishments. Gratitude for your efforts, resilience, and growth reminds you of your worth beyond any single mistake or shortcoming. Mindfulness is another tool to disarm the inner critic. By staying present, you can observe negative thoughts without attaching to them. Thoughts are not facts, they are fleeting mental events. Mindfulness helps you create space between yourself and the narratives of your inner critic, allowing you to respond with intention rather than being swept up in negativity. Over time, this practice builds a habit of detachment from harmful self-talk. Setting boundaries with your inner critic is an act of self-respect. This involves recognizing when the critical voice crosses the line from constructive feedback to destructive negativity. When this happens, firmly redirect your focus. For example, if the inner critic fixates on a perceived failure, remind yourself of your broader progress and the efforts you've made. This boundary setting reinforces your authority over your inner dialogue. Journaling can be a powerful exercise in silencing the inner critic. Writing down negative thoughts allows you to see them more objectively. Once on paper, they often lose their intensity. You can then challenge these thoughts, replacing them with affirmations or constructive insights. Journaling also creates a record of your progress, showing you how far you've come in transforming your inner narrative. Visualizing a supportive inner mentor can also help. This mentor could be an idealized version of yourself or someone you admire. When your inner critic speaks, consider how this mentor would respond. What words of encouragement or wisdom would they offer? This visualization helps you cultivate a kinder, more constructive voice within, one that nurtures rather than diminishes your confidence. Building a strong sense of purpose can further diminish the influence of the inner critic. When you're focused on meaningful goals and aligned with your values, the critic's voice becomes less relevant. Purpose creates a sense of direction and fulfillment that overshadows self-doubt. It reminds you that your worth is tied to your contributions and efforts, not the fleeting judgments of your inner voice. Another strategy is to engage in activities that reinforce your confidence. This could be a hobby, a skill you're mastering, or an act of service to others. These experiences remind you of your capabilities and value, drowning out the negative narratives of the inner critic. They also shift your focus from internal judgments to external action, creating momentum and positivity. Building a network of supportive relationships can also help you counter the inner critic. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you and encourage your growth provides an external mirror that reflects your worth. These relationships remind you that you are valued, not for perfection, but for who you are. Their encouragement can help you internalize a more positive and balanced view of yourself. Forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is another key to silencing the inner critic. Holding on to past mistakes or grievances fuels self-doubt and negativity. Forgiveness frees you from this cycle, allowing you to move forward with a lighter heart. It's not about excusing harm, but releasing its hold on your thoughts and emotions. This release creates space for self-acceptance and growth. As you work to silence the inner critic, it's important to celebrate progress, no matter how small. Each time you challenge a negative thought, reframe a mistake, or speak to yourself with kindness, you're building a new narrative. Acknowledging these victories reinforces your efforts and motivates you to continue. Over time, these small shifts create a profound transformation. Silencing the inner critic is not about erasing all negativity. It's about changing your relationship with it. You learn to recognize the critic's voice without letting it control you. You develop the ability to respond to challenges with compassion and confidence rather than fear and doubt. This journey requires patience and practice, but the result is a more constructive, empowering inner dialogue that strengthens your self-esteem and transforms how you experience life. As you begin to replace the critical narratives within you, another transformative practice emerges: gratitude. Gratitude has the unique ability to shift your focus, redirecting it from what's lacking to what's already present in your life. It's not a simple act of listing what you're thankful for, but a profound change in perspective that nurtures your sense of self-worth and strengthens your inner peace. Gratitude isn't just about being content. It's about recognizing the richness of your experiences, no matter how small or ordinary they may seem. This shift has the power to reshape how you value yourself and the world around you. Gratitude is often overlooked because it feels too simple, too obvious. Yet its simplicity holds profound depth. It works quietly, rewiring your thoughts from scarcity to abundance. When you focus on what you already have, you start to realize how much value exists in your life. This practice reduces feelings of inadequacy, envy, and self-doubt by grounding you in the present. It reminds you that even in moments of challenge, there is something to be appreciated. One way gratitude transforms your sense of self-value is by helping you see your efforts clearly. In a world where achievements are often measured by external accolades, it's easy to overlook the hard work, perseverance, and courage you bring to your daily life. Gratitude allows you to pause and acknowledge these qualities, reinforcing the idea that your worth is not dependent on perfection or external validation, but on the authenticity of your journey. Gratitude also shifts the lens through which you view challenges. Adversity often feels like a test of strength, but gratitude reveals it as an opportunity for growth. When you focus on what a difficult experience has taught you, rather than what it has taken from you, your resilience grows. This practice doesn't dismiss pain or hardship, but highlights the wisdom and strength you gain from navigating them. By practicing gratitude, you also deepen your connection to the people around you. When you express appreciation for others, whether it's for their kindness, support, or simply their presence, you strengthen those relationships. This mutual exchange of gratitude reinforces a sense of belonging and reminds you that you're not alone. It also fosters a more positive self-perception as you begin to see how much value you bring to others' lives. One profound aspect of gratitude is its ability to highlight the beauty in the ordinary. Daily routines, small moments of joy, and simple pleasures often go unnoticed when you're caught up in the demands of life. Gratitude brings these experiences into focus, showing you that fulfillment isn't found in extraordinary achievements alone, but in the quiet, consistent blessings that surround you. This awareness nurtures contentment, which in turn strengthens your self-worth. Gratitude also acts as a powerful counter to envy and comparison. When you're consumed by what others have or achieve, it's easy to feel inadequate. But by redirecting your attention to your own blessings, you break free from this cycle. Gratitude shifts your energy from competition to appreciation, reminding you that everyone's journey is unique and that your value is not diminished by another's success. Another way gratitude reinforces your self-worth is by encouraging you to focus on your progress rather than your shortcomings. Growth often happens in small, incremental steps that are easy to overlook. Gratitude allows you to celebrate these milestones, no matter how small, reinforcing the belief that you are moving forward and making meaningful strides. This acknowledgement builds confidence and motivation to keep going. Gratitude also helps you cultivate a sense of abundance. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you realize that scarcity is often a matter of perception. This shift creates a mindset of sufficiency, where you recognize that you are already equipped with the resources, talents, and opportunities you need to thrive. This realization reinforces the idea that your worth is not tied to acquiring more, but to appreciating what is already within and around you. The practice of gratitude extends to self-forgiveness. When you learn to appreciate your humanity, your imperfections, mistakes, and efforts, you create space for self-compassion. Gratitude helps you see these aspects of yourself not as flaws, but as integral parts of your journey. This perspective fosters acceptance, allowing you to move forward without the weight of unnecessary guilt or shame. Gratitude also transforms how you view time. Instead of focusing on the past with regret or the future with anxiety, gratitude roots you in the present. It encourages you to value the here and now, to make the most of what you have in this moment. This presence not only enhances your sense of self-worth, but also deepens your appreciation for life itself. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring hardships or pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging the full spectrum of your experiences and finding value in them. Gratitude teaches you that even in the midst of struggle, there are lessons, connections, and moments of beauty to be found. This awareness helps you maintain perspective, reducing the emotional weight of challenges and increasing your capacity to cope. One practical way to cultivate gratitude is through intentional reflection. Taking a few moments each day to list what you're thankful for creates a habit of appreciation. This can be as simple as acknowledging the people who support you, the opportunities you've been given, or even the fact that you've made it through a tough day. Over time, this practice shifts your mindset, making gratitude a natural part of how you think and feel. Another approach is to express gratitude directly to others. Whether it's a heartfelt thank you, a written note, or a simple acknowledgement of someone's impact on your life, these acts not only strengthen relationships, but also reinforce your own sense of connection and value. The more you express gratitude, the more you cultivate it within yourself. Gratitude also fosters resilience by helping you focus on what remains rather than what is lost. Life is full of change, and letting go is often accompanied by grief or uncertainty. Gratitude doesn't erase these emotions, but balances them by highlighting what endures. This practice helps you navigate transitions with a sense of stability, reminding you that there is always something to hold on to, even in the midst of change. As you deepen your practice of gratitude, you'll begin to notice its ripple effect. The more you focus on what you appreciate, the more aware you become of the abundance in your life. This awareness not only enhances your self-worth, but also influences how you interact with others, creating a cycle of positivity and connection. Gratitude ultimately reminds you of your inherent worth. It shifts your perspective from seeking value outside of yourself to recognizing the value within. This recognition creates a sense of peace and confidence that is not dependent on external circumstances, but rooted in your own awareness and appreciation. In cultivating gratitude, you create a foundation for self-esteem that is resilient, abundant, and deeply fulfilling. It's a practice that transforms how you see yourself and your world, revealing the richness that has been there all along. As you continue this journey, you'll find that gratitude is not just an emotion, but a way of living, a way that reinforces your self-worth and brings meaning to every aspect of your life. As gratitude reshapes your perspective and deepens your self-worth, another transformative principle emerges: the power of living authentically. This is not simply about being yourself, it's about aligning your actions with your deepest values, creating a life that feels true to who you are at your core. Authenticity is a cornerstone of unshakable confidence, as it allows you to navigate life without the weight of pretense or the fear of judgment. It is a path that leads to profound self-respect and inner peace, a way of living that reflects integrity in every choice you make. Living authentically begins with clarity. It requires a deep understanding of your core values, the principles that matter most to you. These values are the compass that guides your decisions, helping you distinguish between what feels right for you and what may be imposed by societal expectations or external pressures. When your actions align with these values, your life gains a sense of purpose and coherence. This alignment creates a foundation of trust within yourself, as you know you are staying true to who you are. Authenticity also involves shedding the layers of expectations that do not serve you. Many people live their lives trying to meet standards set by others, whether it's family, peers, or societal norms. While these influences may have good intentions, they often lead to a disconnect between your true self and the persona you present to the world. Living authentically means having the courage to let go of roles or behaviors that feel forced, replacing them with choices that resonate with your inner truth. One of the greatest barriers to authenticity is the fear of rejection or disapproval. It can feel safer to conform, to hide parts of yourself that might not be accepted by others. However, this safety comes at the cost of your confidence and freedom. The Stoics remind us that the opinions of others are beyond our control and therefore not worth sacrificing our authenticity for. By focusing on living in harmony with your values, you shift your attention away from external validation and toward internal fulfillment. Authenticity is not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about striving to align your actions with your values, even when it's challenging. There will be times when you falter, when external pressures or old habits pull you off course. These moments are opportunities for reflection and growth. Each time you choose to return to your authentic self, you strengthen your confidence and resilience. Living authentically also requires vulnerability. It means being honest about your strengths and weaknesses, your desires and fears. This honesty can feel uncomfortable as it exposes you to the risk of judgment, but it also opens the door to deeper connections and a greater sense of freedom. When you live authentically, you no longer have to maintain a facade. This authenticity invites others to see and accept you for who you truly are, fostering relationships built on mutual respect and trust. Another aspect of authenticity is taking responsibility for your choices. When you live in alignment with your values, you accept that your actions are your own, regardless of the outcome. This ownership fosters a sense of empowerment as you recognize that you have the ability to shape your life through your decisions. Even in difficult situations, staying true to your values gives you a sense of control and integrity. Authenticity also enhances your ability to set and maintain boundaries. When you are clear about your values and priorities, it becomes easier to say no to what doesn't align with them. These boundaries are not about shutting others out, but about protecting your energy and focus. They allow you to engage with the world from a place of strength rather than obligation, reinforcing your self-respect and confidence. Living authentically often requires letting go of comparison. When you measure yourself against others, you risk losing sight of what makes you unique. Authenticity is about embracing your individuality, recognizing that your path is your own. This perspective allows you to celebrate your progress without the pressure to conform to someone else's definition of success. Authenticity also fosters creativity and innovation. When you live true to yourself, you are more open to exploring your passions and pursuing ideas that resonate with you. This freedom to create and express without fear of judgment fuels a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It reminds you that your value lies not in how you compare to others, but in the unique contributions you bring to the world. Living authentically requires continuous self-reflection. As you grow and evolve, your values may shift or deepen. Taking time to revisit and clarify these values ensures that your actions remain aligned with who you are. This process of self-discovery strengthens your confidence as it reinforces your commitment to living a life that feels meaningful and true. Authenticity also involves embracing imperfection. When you live authentically, you accept that you are a work in progress. This acceptance creates space for growth and learning, allowing you to approach challenges with curiosity rather than self-criticism. It also reinforces your self-worth as you recognize that your value is not diminished by mistakes or setbacks. Authenticity is deeply connected to the concept of freedom. When you live in alignment with your values, you free yourself from the constraints of pretense and the burden of trying to please everyone. This freedom allows you to make choices that align with your well-being and happiness, rather than being dictated by external expectations. Living authentically also inspires others. When you show up as your true self, you create a ripple effect, encouraging those around you to do the same. This authenticity fosters genuine connections and creates an environment where others feel safe to express themselves. By living authentically, you contribute to a culture of honesty, respect, and mutual support. The process of living authentically is not always easy. It requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to face discomfort. But the rewards, a deep sense of confidence, freedom, and fulfillment, are immeasurable. Authenticity allows you to live a life that feels true to who you are, a life where your actions reflect your values and your heart is at peace. As you continue this journey, remember that authenticity is not a destination, but a practice. Each day, each choice is an opportunity to align your actions with your values and deepen your connection to your true self. This practice strengthens your confidence and reinforces the belief that you are enough, just as you are. As authenticity anchors you in a life aligned with your values, another essential practice calls for your attention: freeing yourself from material attachments. This isn't about rejecting success or possessions. It's about understanding that your worth is not tied to what you own. Too often, materialism creates a false sense of identity, whispering that more things will lead to more value. Yet, the more we tie ourselves to these fleeting symbols of success, the further we drift from the true essence of who we are. Letting go of material attachments begins with understanding the role possessions play in your life. Possessions, while useful and sometimes even meaningful, are tools, not reflections of your worth. They serve a purpose but cannot define you. When your self-esteem becomes entangled with what you own, you set yourself up for instability, as the value of things can be lost, stolen, or diminished over time. Realizing this helps you shift your focus from accumulation to fulfillment. Materialism often thrives on comparison. Advertisements, social media, and societal norms constantly suggest that having more, newer, or better possessions will make you more desirable, respected, or happy. Yet, the pursuit of these things rarely leads to lasting satisfaction. By stepping away from the comparison trap, you reclaim the freedom to define success and happiness on your terms. This shift not only enhances your self-esteem, but also allows you to appreciate what you already have. Letting go of material attachments doesn't mean you must give up everything you own. It means reassessing your relationship with things, asking whether they add real value to your life or simply create unnecessary clutter, physically and emotionally. This process fosters clarity, helping you distinguish between what is truly meaningful and what is merely a distraction. The result is a lighter, freer way of living, where your worth is measured by who you are, not what you possess. This mindset also invites gratitude. When you stop focusing on what you lack or wish to acquire, you begin to see the abundance already present in your life. Gratitude shifts your attention from scarcity to sufficiency, reminding you that your value is not determined by external markers of success, but by the depth of your character and the quality of your relationships. Freeing yourself from material attachments also cultivates resilience. When your self-esteem isn't tied to possessions, you become less affected by external losses or changes. Whether it's a financial setback or the wear and tear of time, these events no longer shake your sense of self. This resilience creates a steady confidence, grounded in the understanding that your worth is inherent and unchanging. One powerful way to let go of material attachments is to practice mindfulness in your consumption. Before making a purchase, Ask yourself whether the item aligns with your values or is simply a response to a fleeting desire. This practice encourages intentionality, helping you make choices that reflect who you are rather than what you think you should have. Over time, this approach reduces impulsive spending and reinforces a sense of self-control. Letting go of materialism also means redefining success. Traditional measures of success often emphasize wealth, possessions, or status. While these achievements are not inherently wrong, they are incomplete. True success is found in living a life of meaning, purpose, and connection. By focusing on these deeper values, you free yourself from the constant chase for more and find fulfillment in the present. Another benefit of releasing material attachments is the space it creates for personal growth. When you are no longer consumed by the pursuit of things, you have more time, energy, and mental clarity to invest in what truly matters: your relationships, passions, and self-development. This shift enhances your self-esteem as you begin to see yourself not through the lens of what you own, but through the richness of your experiences and contributions. Materialism often stems from a desire for validation. The idea that owning certain items will earn approval or admiration is deeply ingrained in many cultures. Yet, this validation is often fleeting and shallow. When you let go of the need for external approval, you reclaim the power to define your worth independently. This autonomy strengthens your confidence as you no longer rely on others to affirm your value. Letting go of material attachments also encourages generosity. When you stop clinging to possessions as symbols of worth, you become more willing to share what you have. This generosity fosters a sense of connection and purpose, reminding you that your value lies in your ability to make a positive impact, not in the accumulation of things. Another aspect of this practice is embracing simplicity. Simplifying your life, whether by decluttering your space, reducing unnecessary commitments, or focusing on what truly matters, creates a sense of freedom and clarity. This simplicity allows you to focus on what aligns with your values, reinforcing your self-worth and deepening your sense of fulfillment. Letting go of materialism also helps you develop a healthier relationship with money. Instead of seeing money as a measure of success or happiness, you begin to view it as a tool to support your well-being and goals. This perspective reduces financial stress and encourages mindful spending, aligning your choices with your values and long-term aspirations. By releasing material attachments, you also create room for authentic connections. When your self-esteem is not tied to possessions, you are less likely to judge others or yourself based on what they own. This openness fosters deeper, more meaningful relationships, built on mutual respect and understanding rather than superficial comparisons. Another benefit is the joy found in experiences over possessions. Studies have shown that investing in experiences such as travel, learning, or spending time with loved ones brings more lasting happiness than acquiring material goods. Experiences enrich your life, creating memories and personal growth that no possession can replicate. This shift from accumulation to experience strengthens your sense of fulfillment and self-worth. Letting go of materialism also fosters gratitude for nature and the simple pleasures of life. A walk in the park, a meaningful conversation, or a moment of stillness can bring immense joy when you are not preoccupied with acquiring more. This connection to the present moment reminds you that the most valuable aspects of life are often intangible. Ultimately, freeing yourself from material attachments is about reclaiming your worth from external measures and grounding it in internal values. This shift liberates you from the constant pursuit of more, allowing you to live with greater peace, purpose, and confidence. As you let go of what does not serve you, you create space for what truly matters, strengthening your self-esteem and deepening your connection to yourself and the world around you. As you release the weight of material attachments and ground your worth in deeper values, another essential shift comes into focus: the courage to face failure. Failure has a way of haunting the edges of ambition, convincing you that a misstep defines your worth or limits your potential. But failure is not the enemy. It is a teacher, offering lessons that success cannot. Embracing failure transforms it from something to fear into something that fuels resilience, self-respect, and growth. This mindset doesn't just change how you approach setbacks, it changes how you see yourself in the process. The fear of failure often stems from a deep-seated desire for validation and the fear of losing it. When success is tied to external approval, failure can feel like a personal rejection, as if it reflects a lack of worth. But failure is not an end. It is a moment, a step in a longer journey. Reframing failure as an opportunity rather than a verdict helps break this cycle. Instead of asking, "What does this failure say about me?" you begin to ask, "What can I learn from this experience?" This reframing requires shifting focus from the outcome to the process. When your self-worth depends solely on results, failure becomes a threat. But when you value the effort, persistence, and growth that come from pursuing your goals, failure takes on a different meaning. It becomes a marker of progress, a sign that you are stepping outside your comfort zone and challenging yourself to grow. Failure also highlights resilience. Every setback is an opportunity to strengthen your ability to recover and adapt. Resilience doesn't mean ignoring the pain of failure. It means allowing yourself to feel it, process it, and use it as fuel to move forward. Each time you rise after a fall, you reinforce your confidence in your ability to navigate life's challenges. Embracing failure also deepens self-respect. When you take risks and put effort into meaningful pursuits, you demonstrate courage and commitment to your values. Even if the outcome isn't what you hoped for, the act of trying reflects your strength. This self-respect is rooted not in perfection, but in the willingness to show up and take action, even in the face of uncertainty. The fear of failure often stems from the need for control. Life's unpredictability can make failure feel overwhelming, as if it represents a loss of control. But accepting that some outcomes are beyond your influence can be freeing. By focusing on what you can control, your effort, attitude, and response, you reclaim a sense of agency and reduce the power of fear. Learning to embrace failure also involves letting go of comparison. When you measure your progress against others, failure feels magnified, as if you're falling behind. But comparison is an illusion. Everyone's journey is unique, shaped by different goals, values, and circumstances. Focusing on your growth and path allows you to see failure as part of your personal evolution, rather than a reflection of your standing relative to others. Failure also offers clarity. It reveals what's not working and helps you refine your approach. Success often masks inefficiencies or weaknesses, while failure shines a light on them, providing invaluable insight. By embracing these lessons, you develop a sharper understanding of your strengths and areas for improvement, which ultimately makes you more effective and confident. One way to overcome the fear of failure is to redefine success. Instead of viewing success as the absence of failure, consider it the result of persistence and learning. This mindset shifts your focus from avoiding mistakes to pursuing growth. When success is defined by effort and resilience, failure becomes a natural part of the process rather than a barrier. Another way to confront the fear of failure is to practice self-compassion. The inner critic often grows louder after a setback, amplifying feelings of inadequacy. But self-compassion quiets this voice, reminding you that mistakes are part of being human. Treating yourself with kindness and understanding allows you to move forward without the weight of self-judgment, reinforcing your resilience and confidence. Failure also fosters humility, which is essential for personal growth. It reminds you that there is always more to learn and that mastery comes from repeated effort, not instant success. This humility creates a mindset of curiosity, where failure becomes an invitation to explore and improve rather than a reason to stop. Overcoming the fear of failure also requires challenging perfectionism. The pursuit of perfection often leads to procrastination or avoidance, as the fear of falling short feels unbearable. But perfection is an illusion. Even the most successful people face setbacks and mistakes. By embracing imperfection, you allow yourself the freedom to try, fail, and grow, without the unrealistic burden of always getting it right. Another strategy is to start small. Taking small, manageable risks builds confidence and reduces the fear of failure. Each step forward, no matter how small, reinforces your belief in your ability to handle challenges. These incremental successes create momentum, making larger risks feel less daunting over time. Failure also strengthens empathy. When you experience setbacks, you develop a deeper understanding of others' struggles, which fosters compassion and connection. This empathy not only enhances your relationships, but also helps you view your own failures with greater perspective and kindness. Learning to embrace failure also involves reframing rejection. Rejection often feels personal, as if it invalidates your worth. But rejection is often a reflection of circumstances, timing, or fit, rather than your value as a person. By viewing rejection as redirection, you open yourself to new opportunities and paths that may better align with your goals and values. Another way to overcome the fear of failure is to focus on the bigger picture. Failure can feel overwhelming when viewed in isolation, but when placed in the context of your broader journey, it becomes just one chapter in a larger story. This perspective helps you see setbacks as temporary and encourages you to keep moving forward. Failure also teaches patience. Growth takes time, and setbacks are often part of the process. Embracing failure helps you develop the patience to persevere, trusting that progress will come with sustained effort. This patience strengthens your resilience and reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. Another benefit of failure is the opportunity it provides to test your commitment. When faced with a setback, you have the chance to re-evaluate your goals and motivations. This reflection can either reignite your passion or help you adjust your path to better align with your values. Either way, failure clarifies your direction and strengthens your resolve. Overcoming the fear of failure also involves celebrating effort. Each attempt, regardless of the outcome, is a step forward. By acknowledging and valuing your efforts, you build a sense of pride and accomplishment that is independent of external results. This focus on effort reinforces your self-worth and motivates you to keep going. Ultimately, embracing failure is about trusting yourself. It's about knowing that you have the strength to face setbacks, learn from them, and continue moving forward. This trust creates a foundation of resilience and self-respect that no failure can shake. As you learn to see failure not as an obstacle, but as an integral part of growth, you unlock a confidence that is both unshakable and enduring. As the lessons of failure teach resilience and perspective, a deeper truth emerges. The ability to maintain inner calm amid life's storms is a profound strength. It's not about avoiding challenges or denying emotions, but cultivating a steady, unshakable core that remains clear and composed under pressure. This fortress of inner calm becomes a sanctuary, protecting your peace when the world around you feels chaotic. In this space, self-esteem flourishes, rooted not in external circumstances, but in the confidence that you can navigate whatever life brings. Calmness begins with the choice to respond, not react. In moments of pressure, the instinctive reaction is often to panic, lash out, or retreat. These reactions are driven by the fear of losing control. However, responding with intentionality allows you to reclaim that control, even when the situation is difficult. This shift from impulsivity to deliberate action creates a sense of empowerment, as you realize that your peace lies in your ability to choose how you engage with the world. Developing inner calm requires a commitment to mindfulness. Mindfulness trains you to stay present, anchoring your awareness in the moment rather than being swept away by the noise of the past or future. When you are mindful, you observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing them to pass without dictating your actions. This practice not only reduces stress, but also strengthens your ability to remain centered in challenging situations. Another key to inner calm is learning to let go of what you cannot control. So much of life's stress stems from resisting circumstances that are beyond your influence. By accepting what is and focusing on what you can change, you free yourself from unnecessary frustration. This acceptance is not passive, but active. It's a choice to redirect your energy towards solutions rather than dwelling on problems. This focus reinforces your sense of agency and protects your peace. Building a fortress of inner calm also involves cultivating patience. Pressure often arises from the expectation that things must happen quickly or perfectly. Patience allows you to embrace the pace of life, trusting that progress will come with time and effort. This trust reduces anxiety and creates space for thoughtful action, even in the midst of uncertainty. Inner calm is also rooted in self-awareness. Understanding your triggers, those situations, words, or behaviors that disrupt your peace, allows you to prepare and respond with clarity. Self-awareness doesn't eliminate challenges, but equips you with the tools to navigate them more effectively. This preparation builds confidence as you learn to trust your ability to handle difficult moments without losing your composure. Equanimity, or the ability to maintain balance in the face of highs and lows, is another cornerstone of inner calm. Life is full of fluctuations, successes and setbacks, joys and sorrows. By cultivating equanimity, you develop a steady perspective that allows you to experience these moments without becoming overwhelmed. This balance strengthens your self-esteem as you learn to value yourself independently of external circumstances. Another practice that supports inner calm is intentional breathing. Deep, controlled breaths activate the body's relaxation response, calming the nervous system and clearing the mind. This simple yet powerful tool is always available, providing a way to ground yourself in moments of stress. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, helping you maintain composure even in the most intense situations. Gratitude also plays a role in protecting your peace. When you focus on what you appreciate, you shift your perspective from what's wrong to what's right. This doesn't ignore challenges, but balances them with a sense of abundance. Gratitude reminds you that, even in difficult times, there is value to be found. This perspective reinforces your resilience and reduces the emotional impact of stress. Boundaries are another essential aspect of inner calm. Protecting your peace means knowing when to say no to people, situations, or commitments that drain your energy or disrupt your focus. Boundaries are not about shutting others out, but about creating space for your well-being. By honoring your limits, you affirm your self-worth and create an environment where calmness can thrive. Building inner calm also involves embracing simplicity. Complexity often creates stress, as the mind struggles to juggle competing priorities and demands. Simplifying your environment, schedule, and goals allows you to focus on what truly matters. This clarity reduces overwhelm and fosters a sense of control, which in turn strengthens your self-esteem. Another aspect of calmness is the ability to detach from negative thoughts. The mind has a tendency to dwell on worst-case scenarios or replay past mistakes, creating unnecessary turmoil. By observing these thoughts without attaching to them, you break the cycle of rumination. This detachment allows you to approach challenges with a clear mind, reducing the emotional weight of stress. Inner calm is also supported by regular reflection. Taking time to step back and assess your experiences helps you gain perspective and learn from them. Reflection creates a sense of continuity and purpose, reminding you that every challenge is part of a larger journey. This understanding reduces the urgency of individual moments, allowing you to respond with greater composure. Another powerful practice is self-compassion. When you treat yourself with kindness and understanding, you create a safe space within yourself. This self-compassion reduces the intensity of self-criticism and fosters a sense of inner security. Knowing that you are not alone in your struggles strengthens your resilience and helps you maintain calmness even in difficult times. The practice of calmness also requires discipline. It's not about suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine, but about consistently choosing actions that align with your values. This discipline creates a sense of stability as you learn to trust yourself to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This trust reinforces your confidence and protects your peace. Another benefit of cultivating inner calm is the positive impact it has on your relationships. When you approach interactions with composure, you create an atmosphere of understanding and respect. This calmness often diffuses tension, allowing for more productive and meaningful connections. It also reinforces your self-esteem as you see the positive influence of your presence on others. Inner calm also involves embracing uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns, and the desire for certainty can create anxiety. By accepting that some questions may remain unanswered, you reduce the power of fear and create space for curiosity and growth. This acceptance strengthens your ability to adapt, reinforcing your confidence in navigating life's challenges. As you continue to practice calmness, you'll find that it becomes a source of strength. It's not a passive state, but an active choice, a way of engaging with the world that reflects resilience, clarity, and self-respect. This calmness becomes a foundation for your self-esteem, reminding you that peace is not found in the absence of storms, but in your ability to weather them with grace. The more you cultivate this inner fortress, the more you'll discover the profound power of equanimity in every aspect of your life. As the strength of inner calm fortifies your sense of self, a vital principle emerges, directing your energy toward what you can control. This practice is not just a tool for navigating challenges, but a powerful foundation for confidence. When you focus on what truly matters, your actions, your mindset, and your choices, you reclaim your power. You stop expending energy on things that drain you and instead invest it in areas where it can create real impact. This shift transforms how you approach life, allowing you to face uncertainty with clarity and purpose. Focusing on what you can control begins with a deep awareness of the dichotomy of control, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics taught that while external events may shape circumstances, your response to them lies entirely in your hands. This understanding liberates you from feeling overwhelmed by things outside your influence. It reminds you that your power lies not in controlling outcomes, but in mastering how you engage with them. When you focus on what you can control, you shift your energy from frustration to empowerment. Many people waste valuable time and emotional resources trying to influence factors that are ultimately beyond their reach. Other people's opinions, past events, or even the weather. Redirecting this energy toward your thoughts, actions, and decisions creates a sense of purpose and direction. It's like clearing the clutter from your mental space, allowing you to move forward with intention. This practice also deepens self-trust. When you consistently focus on what you can control, you build confidence in your ability to navigate life's challenges. Each time you make a deliberate choice, even in difficult circumstances, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. This self-trust is a cornerstone of resilience and self-esteem, as it reminds you that your value is not determined by external factors, but by your inner strength. Focusing on what you can control also reduces anxiety. Much of the stress in life comes from worrying about things that may never happen or that you cannot influence. By narrowing your focus to the present moment and the choices within your power, you quiet the noise of uncertainty. This clarity creates a sense of calm and steadiness, even in the midst of chaos. This principle also empowers you to take responsibility for your actions. When you focus on what you can control, you stop blaming circumstances or others for your experiences. This ownership doesn't mean taking responsibility for everything, but it does mean acknowledging your role in shaping your life. This accountability fosters a sense of agency and independence, reinforcing your confidence and resilience. One practical way to apply this principle is to set boundaries around your time and energy. Many people feel drained because they overextend themselves, trying to meet everyone's expectations or solve every problem. By focusing on what aligns with your values and priorities, you can say no to what doesn't serve you. These boundaries protect your energy, allowing you to invest it where it truly matters. Focusing on what you can control also encourages you to embrace effort over outcomes. Outcomes are often influenced by external factors, but effort is entirely within your power. By valuing the process over the result, you free yourself from the fear of failure and instead find fulfillment in the act of trying. This perspective shifts your focus from perfection to progress, nurturing a sense of accomplishment and self-worth. Another benefit of this practice is the freedom it brings from comparison. When you focus on what you can control, you stop measuring your worth against others. Instead, you center your attention on your own journey, goals, and growth. This shift reduces feelings of inadequacy and allows you to celebrate your unique path without the pressure to conform to external standards. Focusing on what you can control also helps you navigate relationships with greater ease. You cannot control how others act or feel, but you can control how you respond. This understanding reduces the emotional weight of conflicts and misunderstandings, allowing you to approach them with clarity and compassion. It also helps you set realistic expectations, fostering healthier, more balanced connections. This principle also enhances your decision-making. When you focus on what you can influence, you make choices with greater confidence and intention. You stop getting bogged down by what-ifs or the fear of making the wrong decision, and instead take purposeful action. This clarity not only strengthens your confidence, but also leads to more effective outcomes. Another aspect of focusing on what you can control is cultivating resilience. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. But by directing your energy toward how you adapt and respond, you build the mental and emotional strength to persevere. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges, but about meeting them with courage and clarity, knowing that you have the tools to navigate them. Focusing on what you can control also fosters gratitude. When you stop chasing things beyond your reach, you become more aware of what you already have. This awareness creates a sense of abundance and contentment, reminding you that your worth is not tied to external achievements, but to the richness of your inner life and the connections you nurture. This principle also reinforces the importance of self-discipline. Focusing on what you can control requires the ability to redirect your thoughts and actions when they stray. This discipline doesn't mean suppressing emotions or denying difficulties. It means choosing responses that align with your values and goals. Each time you exercise this discipline, you strengthen your sense of self-mastery and confidence. Focusing on what you can control also invites a sense of curiosity. When you stop fixating on outcomes, you open yourself to the possibilities within each moment. This curiosity encourages you to explore, learn, and grow without the fear of judgment or failure. It reminds you that life is not about controlling every detail, but about engaging fully with the opportunities before you. This practice also helps you embrace impermanence. When you focus on what you can control, you accept that change is inevitable. This acceptance reduces resistance and allows you to adapt with greater ease. It also reminds you that your worth is not dependent on stability or certainty, but on your ability to navigate change with grace and resilience. Another benefit of focusing on what you can control is the peace it brings. By letting go of the need to control everything, you create space for stillness and presence. This peace is not passive but active, a choice to engage with life in a way that honors your values and priorities. It's a peace rooted in confidence, as you trust yourself to handle whatever comes your way. Ultimately, focusing on what you can control is an act of empowerment. It reminds you that, no matter what challenges arise, you have the strength to choose your path. This practice not only builds confidence, but also deepens your connection to yourself and the world around you. As you continue to apply this principle, you'll discover that true power lies not in controlling circumstances, but in mastering your response to them. This is where resilience, peace, and self-worth truly thrive. As you master the art of focusing on what you can control, another profound practice emerges: the ability to forgive. Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior or forgetting past wounds. It's about releasing the weight of resentment that keeps you tethered to pain. Holding on to grudges often feels like self-protection, but it is a heavy burden that drains emotional energy and clouds your perspective. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is a liberation, a choice to reclaim your peace and rebuild your self-esteem. Resentment creates a cycle of negativity that can infiltrate every area of your life. It distorts your view of the past, taints the present, and casts shadows over the future. By holding on to anger or hurt, you unintentionally allow the actions of others to control your emotional state. Forgiveness breaks this cycle, returning the focus to your inner well-being. It is not about condoning harm, but about refusing to let it define your life. Forgiveness strengthens your self-esteem because it shifts the narrative from victimhood to empowerment. When you hold on to grudges, you give power to the actions of others, allowing them to shape your emotional reality. Forgiveness is a declaration of independence, a way of saying that your peace is not dictated by external forces, but by your own choices. This shift reinforces your sense of agency and builds confidence in your ability to navigate challenges with grace. Releasing resentment also creates space for emotional clarity. Anger and bitterness can cloud judgment, making it difficult to see situations objectively. Forgiveness clears this emotional clutter, allowing you to reflect on your experiences with greater understanding. This clarity helps you learn from the past without being trapped by it, fostering growth and resilience. Practicing forgiveness also deepens your capacity for compassion. When you let go of anger, you open yourself to seeing the humanity in others, even those who have caused you pain. This compassion does not mean excusing harmful behavior, but recognizing that everyone is flawed and capable of mistakes. By extending this understanding to others, you also cultivate self-compassion, acknowledging your own imperfections without harsh judgment. Another benefit of forgiveness is the peace it brings. Resentment keeps you tethered to the past, constantly revisiting old wounds. Forgiveness cuts these ties, freeing you to focus on the present. This presence allows you to engage with life more fully, unburdened by the weight of unresolved pain. The peace that follows is not just emotional but physical, as studies have shown that forgiveness can reduce stress and improve overall health. Forgiveness also enhances relationships. When you let go of grudges, you create space for reconciliation and deeper connections. Even if forgiveness does not lead to renewed relationships, it allows you to approach future connections with an open heart. By releasing the bitterness of past conflicts, you free yourself to engage with others from a place of trust and vulnerability. The act of forgiveness is also a powerful form of self-care. It acknowledges that your well-being is more important than holding on to pain. By prioritizing your mental and emotional health, you affirm your worth and strengthen your resilience. This self-care is not selfish but necessary, as it allows you to show up fully for yourself and others. Forgiveness requires courage. It means facing your pain head-on rather than avoiding or suppressing it. This courage builds emotional strength, as each act of forgiveness reinforces your ability to confront difficult emotions. It also fosters self-respect, as you recognize the bravery it takes to choose healing over bitterness. One practical step toward forgiveness is reframing the narrative of hurt. Instead of focusing on how someone wronged you, consider what the experience taught you about yourself, your boundaries, or your values. This reframing does not minimize the pain, but gives it purpose, transforming it into a source of growth. By finding meaning in the experience, you take a step toward releasing its hold on you. Forgiveness also involves setting boundaries. Letting go of resentment does not mean allowing harmful behavior to continue. In fact, forgiveness often requires establishing clear limits to protect your peace. These boundaries are not acts of punishment, but of self-respect, ensuring that your forgiveness does not come at the expense of your well-being. Practicing forgiveness also invites gratitude. By focusing on the lessons learned and the strength gained from difficult experiences, you shift your perspective from loss to abundance. This gratitude reinforces your resilience, reminding you that even in the face of pain, there is value to be found. Another aspect of forgiveness is recognizing its cyclical nature. Forgiveness is rarely a one-time event. It is a process that unfolds over time. Some days, the pain may feel distant, while on others, it may resurface. This ebb and flow are natural and do not diminish the progress you've made. Each time you choose to release resentment, you reinforce your commitment to healing and self-respect. Forgiveness also challenges the ego. The desire to hold on to anger often stems from a need to feel right or vindicated. Releasing this need is an act of humility, acknowledging that holding on to pain does not serve your higher self. This humility fosters a deeper connection to your values, reminding you that peace and compassion are more important than being right. Another way forgiveness strengthens your self-esteem is by fostering inner freedom. Resentment keeps you emotionally tied to the person or event that caused you harm. Forgiveness breaks these chains, allowing you to reclaim your energy and focus it on what truly matters. This freedom reinforces your confidence as you recognize that your well-being is within your control. Forgiveness also involves accepting that closure may not come from the other person. Many people wait for apologies or acknowledgements that may never arrive. True forgiveness does not depend on external validation, but on your decision to let go. This acceptance empowers you to move forward on your terms without waiting for someone else to make things right. Practicing forgiveness also teaches resilience. Each act of forgiveness strengthens your ability to recover from pain and adversity. This resilience is not about forgetting, but about integrating the experience into your story without letting it define you. It reminds you that you are stronger than any hurt you've endured, reinforcing your self-worth. Another benefit of forgiveness is its impact on your mindset. Holding on to grudges often fosters a sense of scarcity, as if letting go means losing something. Forgiveness shifts this perspective, showing you that release creates space for growth, joy, and connection. This abundance mindset enhances your overall outlook on life, making you more open to new opportunities and experiences. Forgiveness also invites self-reflection. It encourages you to examine your own actions, acknowledging where you may have caused pain or held unrealistic expectations. This reflection is not about blame, but about understanding and growth. By holding yourself accountable with compassion, you deepen your self-awareness and strengthen your relationships. At its core, forgiveness is about choosing peace over pain. It is a declaration that your emotional well-being is more important than holding on to anger or seeking retribution. This choice is an act of self-respect, affirming your worth and reinforcing your resilience. As you practice forgiveness, you'll find that it not only frees your mind, but also opens your heart to the richness of life. As forgiveness clears the weight of resentment, a new lens emerges through which life can be understood, the power of perspective. The Stoics mastered this art, teaching that problems are not merely obstacles, but opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Reframing challenges shifts them from sources of despair to catalysts for transformation, offering a path to a more empowered and fulfilling existence. It's a practice that turns setbacks into stepping stones and helps you see life's difficulties with clarity and purpose. Perspective is not about ignoring pain or pretending struggles don't exist. Instead, it's about choosing how you interpret those struggles. Life's challenges are inevitable, but how you view them determines their impact. By embracing the idea that every problem contains the seed of growth, you free yourself from being a victim of circumstance and instead become an active participant in your own development. This reframing begins with questioning the initial narrative you tell yourself about a challenge. Often, the mind rushes to label difficulties as failures, injustices, or signs of inadequacy. But these labels are not facts. They are interpretations shaped by fear or frustration. Pausing to question these assumptions opens the door to alternative perspectives, ones that highlight opportunities for learning and growth. Reframing problems also involves identifying the lessons they offer. Each challenge, no matter how painful, contains valuable insights about your strengths, your values, or areas for improvement. Viewing problems as teachers rather than enemies transforms them into tools for self-discovery. This shift not only reduces the emotional weight of difficulties, but also strengthens your confidence in navigating future challenges. Another key to the Stoic art of perspective is recognizing the impermanence of problems. What feels overwhelming in the moment often becomes insignificant with time. Keeping this in mind helps you approach challenges with greater calm and patience, knowing that they are temporary and that you have the strength to endure them. This understanding creates a sense of resilience as you trust your ability to weather life's storms. Perspective also encourages gratitude, even in the face of hardship. When you view challenges as opportunities for growth, you begin to appreciate the ways they shape you. This gratitude doesn't dismiss the pain of difficulties, but balances it with an awareness of their potential to make you stronger. It reminds you that every setback is part of a larger journey, one that ultimately leads to a more resilient and capable self. Reframing problems also involves focusing on what you can control. Many challenges feel insurmountable because they are tied to factors beyond your influence. By shifting your attention to the actions and attitudes within your power, you regain a sense of agency. This focus not only reduces feelings of helplessness, but also helps you approach problems with clarity and purpose. Another benefit of reframing problems is the perspective it brings to success. Challenges often provide a clearer understanding of what truly matters, helping you prioritize your efforts and align your goals with your values. This clarity creates a sense of purpose and direction, transforming difficulties into stepping stones toward a more meaningful life. Reframing also strengthens your relationships. When you view conflicts or misunderstandings as opportunities to deepen understanding and communication, you approach them with curiosity rather than defensiveness. This mindset fosters empathy and connection, helping you navigate challenges with others in a way that strengthens your bonds. The Stoic art of perspective also teaches humility. Challenges remind you that you are not invincible and that growth often comes from embracing your limitations. This humility is not a weakness, but a strength, as it opens the door to learning and self-improvement. By accepting that you don't have all the answers, you create space for growth and discovery. Reframing problems also cultivates patience. Growth takes time, and the lessons within challenges often unfold gradually. Embracing this patience allows you to engage with difficulties more fully, trusting that each step forward brings you closer to understanding and resolution. This trust reinforces your resilience and helps you remain steady in the face of uncertainty. Another aspect of perspective is its ability to shift your focus from what is lost to what is gained. Loss is a natural part of life, but within every loss lies the opportunity to rebuild, redefine, and grow. By focusing on what remains or what can be created anew, you transform loss into a source of strength and resilience. Perspective also encourages you to see the interconnectedness of life. Challenges rarely exist in isolation. They are part of a larger web of experiences that shape who you are. Viewing problems within this broader context helps you understand their role in your journey, reducing their emotional weight and increasing your ability to approach them with curiosity and openness. Reframing problems also involves embracing the unknown. Life's challenges often come with uncertainty, which can feel overwhelming. But within this uncertainty lies the potential for growth and discovery. By accepting the unknown as a natural part of life, you open yourself to new possibilities and approaches, transforming fear into curiosity. Another benefit of the Stoic art of perspective is the sense of empowerment it brings. When you view problems as opportunities for growth, you reclaim your power to shape your response. This empowerment reinforces your confidence as you recognize that no challenge can define you unless you allow it to. Perspective also helps you find meaning in adversity. Even the most difficult experiences can offer insights into your values, priorities, and purpose. By seeking this meaning, you transform pain into a source of strength and clarity, deepening your connection to yourself and the world around you. Reframing problems also fosters creativity. Challenges often require new approaches and solutions, pushing you to think outside the box. This creativity not only helps you navigate difficulties, but also enhances your ability to adapt and thrive in the face of change. It reminds you that challenges are not walls, but doors waiting to be opened. The Stoic art of perspective also encourages you to celebrate progress, no matter how small. Each step forward, each moment of clarity, is a victory. By focusing on these small wins, you build momentum and confidence, reinforcing your belief in your ability to overcome challenges and grow stronger. Ultimately, the art of perspective is about choosing how you engage with life. It's about recognizing that while you may not control every challenge, you do control your response. This choice transforms problems from sources of despair into opportunities for growth, creating a life rooted in resilience, purpose, and strength. As you continue to practice this art, you'll find that challenges no longer feel like barriers, but stepping stones toward a stronger, wiser self. As perspective reshapes the way you approach challenges, a deeper truth begins to emerge: the power hidden within pain. Adversity is inevitable, but it does not have to be the end of your story. Pain carries a profound potential for transformation, offering lessons that no comfort zone ever could. When harnessed, it becomes a force for self-improvement, shaping resilience, clarity, and confidence. The key is learning to channel pain into power, transforming suffering into a catalyst for growth. Pain often feels like a barrier, a reminder of limitations and loss. Yet, within every difficult experience lies an opportunity to learn, adapt, and emerge stronger. Viewing pain as a teacher shifts its role from something to avoid to something to engage with. This doesn't mean seeking out hardship, but choosing to see value in what it leaves behind. Every wound carries wisdom, and every struggle has the potential to sharpen your skills and deepen your understanding of yourself. Turning pain into power begins with acceptance. Resistance to pain, denying it, suppressing it, or pretending it doesn't exist, only amplifies its hold over you. Accepting pain doesn't mean resigning to it. It means acknowledging its presence without letting it define you. This act of acceptance is empowering because it allows you to face the source of your pain honestly and begin the process of healing and growth. Pain also challenges you to examine your strengths. Often, it is through adversity that you discover your ability to endure and overcome. Pain forces you to dig deep, uncovering reserves of resilience and determination that you might not have known existed. Each time you confront and navigate hardship, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, strengthening your confidence in your ability to handle life's uncertainties. Adversity also has a way of clarifying what truly matters. When life strips away comfort and ease, it reveals the core of your priorities and values. Pain forces you to reassess where you direct your energy, helping you align your efforts with what is most meaningful. This clarity creates a sense of purpose, turning moments of hardship into opportunities to focus on what truly enriches your life. Transforming pain into power also requires reframing your perspective on failure. Pain often stems from setbacks or unmet expectations, but these moments are not the end of growth. They are part of it. Failure is not a verdict on your worth, but a stepping stone toward improvement. By viewing setbacks as feedback rather than finality, you shift the narrative from defeat to discovery, unlocking new paths forward. Adversity also builds empathy. When you experience pain, you develop a deeper understanding of the struggles others face. This empathy not only strengthens your relationships, but also fosters self-compassion. Recognizing that suffering is a shared human experience reminds you that your pain does not isolate you. It connects you to a broader story of resilience and perseverance. Another way pain becomes a source of power is through the lessons it teaches about boundaries. Difficult experiences often highlight areas where you need to protect your energy or assert your needs more clearly. Pain can serve as a wake-up call, prompting you to establish healthier limits and prioritize your well-being. This act of setting boundaries is not only empowering, but also a form of self-respect. Harnessing adversity also involves focusing on small victories. Pain can feel overwhelming, but within every difficult experience are moments of progress, small decisions, efforts, or shifts in mindset that move you forward. Celebrating these victories reminds you that growth is a process, reinforcing your belief in your ability to transform challenges into opportunities. Adversity also forces you to adapt. Pain disrupts the status quo, pushing you to think creatively and develop new approaches to old problems. This adaptability is a valuable skill, one that not only helps you navigate challenges, but also prepares you for future uncertainties. Each time you find a way to overcome hardship, you expand your capacity to thrive in the face of change. Pain also deepens your connection to your inner strength. When life tests you, it reveals what you are truly capable of enduring. This connection to your resilience is a source of power, reminding you that no matter how difficult the moment, you have the resources within you to navigate it. This realization builds unshakable confidence as you learn to trust your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Transforming pain into power also involves choosing growth over bitterness. Pain has the potential to harden or heal, depending on how you engage with it. Choosing to grow means seeking the lessons within adversity, even when they are difficult to uncover. This choice doesn't erase the pain, but allows you to move through it with purpose, emerging stronger on the other side. Another aspect of this transformation is the role of vulnerability. Pain often exposes parts of yourself that feel raw or fragile. Embracing this vulnerability is an act of courage, one that strengthens your connection to yourself and others. By being honest about your struggles, you create space for deeper relationships and a more authentic sense of self-worth. Adversity also provides an opportunity to redefine success. Pain often stems from unmet expectations, but these moments invite you to reconsider what success means to you. By aligning your definition of success with your values and priorities, you create a more fulfilling and sustainable path forward, one that is rooted in purpose rather than external validation. Another benefit of harnessing pain is the resilience it builds. Each time you face and overcome adversity, you strengthen your ability to navigate future challenges. This resilience is not about ignoring pain, but about learning to move through it with grace and determination. It reminds you that no matter how difficult the moment, you have the capacity to endure and grow. Pain also fosters a sense of gratitude for what remains. Difficult experiences often strip away the inessential, revealing the value of what is left. This gratitude shifts your focus from loss to abundance, reminding you of the strength and support that sustain you through hardship. It also deepens your appreciation for moments of joy as you learn to savor the light even amid the darkness. Transforming pain into power also involves cultivating patience. Growth takes time, and the lessons within adversity often unfold gradually. Embracing this patience allows you to engage fully with the process, trusting that each step forward brings you closer to healing and understanding. This trust reinforces your resilience and helps you navigate challenges with greater ease. Adversity also challenges you to confront limiting beliefs. Pain often reveals the stories you tell yourself about your worth, abilities, or potential. By questioning these narratives, you create space for new perspectives and possibilities. This process of reframing not only helps you move through pain, but also expands your sense of what you are capable of achieving. Ultimately, turning pain into power is about reclaiming your story. Adversity may shape your experiences, but it does not have to define your identity. By choosing to learn, grow, and adapt, you transform suffering into a source of strength, confidence, and purpose. This transformation is not a denial of pain, but an acknowledgement of its potential to create something meaningful and enduring. As you continue to harness this power, you'll discover that even the most difficult moments can be stepping stones to a stronger, more empowered self. As the journey of turning pain into power fortifies your resilience and reveals your strength, another profound realization emerges. Growth is not just born from monumental moments of change, but from the quiet consistency of daily rituals. These small, intentional practices shape the foundation of long-term self-worth, nurturing a positive self-image that remains steady regardless of life's uncertainties. By integrating mindfulness into your everyday actions, you cultivate a life that reflects your values, fosters confidence, and aligns with your deepest sense of purpose. Daily rituals ground your sense of self in consistency. Life's unpredictability can create a sense of instability, but rituals act as anchors, providing a rhythm that centers you. They remind you that while you cannot control everything around you, you have the power to shape how you engage with the world. This consistency reinforces a sense of trust in yourself, as you prove through action that you are capable of prioritizing your well-being. Mindful rituals bring presence to the small moments often overlooked in the rush of daily life. Whether it's taking a few deep breaths before starting your day or pausing to reflect before bedtime, these practices remind you to slow down and engage fully with the present. This presence not only reduces stress, but also deepens your connection to yourself, fostering a self-awareness that is integral to building self-worth. One of the most impactful aspects of daily rituals is their cumulative effect. Small, consistent actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they create profound transformation. Whether it's writing a few lines in a gratitude journal, moving your body for 10 minutes, or spending a moment in stillness, these actions compound, reinforcing positive habits and a sense of accomplishment. Each completed ritual becomes a small victory, affirming your ability to commit to what nourishes you. Rituals also serve as expressions of self-respect. When you dedicate time to practices that support your mental, emotional, and physical health, you send a clear message to yourself that you are worth the effort. This act of prioritizing your well-being strengthens your self-image, reminding you that your value does not come from external validation, but from the care you show yourself. Mindful rituals also help you navigate challenges with greater ease. By incorporating grounding practices into your day, you build a reservoir of calm and resilience to draw from when difficulties arise. These rituals act as reminders of your strength, helping you approach challenges with clarity and confidence rather than fear or overwhelm. Daily rituals also foster a sense of intention. In a world filled with distractions and demands, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Rituals provide an opportunity to pause, reflect, and realign with your values. This intentionality creates a sense of purpose and direction, helping you approach your day with focus and clarity. Another benefit of mindful rituals is their ability to break the cycle of negative self-talk. The act of showing up for yourself through consistent practices interrupts patterns of self-doubt or criticism. Over time, these rituals replace negative narratives with positive affirmations, reinforcing a sense of self-worth and capability. Rituals also create space for gratitude. Whether it's taking a moment to acknowledge the good in your life or engaging in an activity that brings you joy, these practices shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude not only enhances your overall well-being, but also strengthens your confidence as you recognize and celebrate the richness of your experiences. Daily rituals also encourage reflection, offering a moment to assess your growth and progress. Reflection helps you see how far you've come, even in small ways, reinforcing a sense of accomplishment. This perspective is invaluable for building self-worth, as it reminds you that your efforts, no matter how small, are meaningful and impactful. Another way rituals support self-worth is by creating boundaries. Setting aside time for practices that nourish you helps you prioritize your well-being over external demands. These boundaries are acts of self-respect, affirming that your needs and growth are just as important as the roles you fulfill for others. Mindful rituals also foster creativity and curiosity. Engaging in practices like journaling, drawing, or exploring new ideas allows you to express yourself freely without judgment. This creative outlet strengthens your connection to your authentic self, reminding you of your unique strengths and perspectives. Rituals also provide a sense of stability in times of change. Life's transitions can be unsettling, but daily practices offer a sense of continuity, grounding you in the midst of uncertainty. This stability reinforces your resilience, helping you navigate change with confidence and grace. Another benefit of mindful rituals is their role in cultivating patience. Growth and self-improvement take time, and rituals teach you to value the process rather than rush toward outcomes. This patience deepens your appreciation for the journey, reinforcing your self-worth as you learn to trust the unfolding of your progress. Rituals also create opportunities for connection. Whether it's sharing a meal with loved ones, taking a walk in nature, or participating in a community activity, these practices remind you of the importance of relationships and belonging. This sense of connection strengthens your self-esteem as you see the value you bring to others and the support you receive in return. Daily rituals also promote a sense of balance. By dedicating time to practices that nurture different aspects of your well-being, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, you create a holistic foundation for self-worth. This balance helps you approach life with greater harmony, reducing stress and increasing your overall sense of fulfillment. Mindful rituals also encourage self-compassion. The act of prioritizing yourself through small, intentional practices reminds you that you are deserving of kindness and care. This compassion extends beyond the rituals themselves, influencing how you treat yourself throughout the day and reinforcing your sense of value. Another way rituals build self-worth is by fostering a sense of accomplishment. Completing a daily practice, no matter how small, reinforces your belief in your ability to follow through on commitments. This sense of achievement builds confidence, reminding you that you are capable of creating positive change in your life. Rituals also offer a way to celebrate your individuality. By tailoring your practices to reflect your values, interests, and needs, you create a routine that is uniquely yours. This celebration of your authentic self strengthens your self-image, reminding you that your worth lies in your uniqueness. Ultimately, mindful daily rituals are acts of self-empowerment. They remind you that your growth, well-being, and self-worth are within your control. By showing up for yourself consistently, you cultivate a life that reflects your values and reinforces your confidence. These small practices, rooted in intention and care, become the foundation for a strong, positive self-image that endures through life's challenges and triumphs. As you commit to these rituals, you'll discover the profound impact of simple, consistent actions in building a life of meaning, purpose, and self-worth. As mindful daily rituals reinforce your sense of self-worth, an even deeper truth begins to unfold: the freedom that comes from self-acceptance. This is not about settling or ceasing to grow, but about embracing yourself wholly, without conditions or comparisons. Accepting yourself as enough liberates you from the exhausting cycle of chasing external validation and perfection. It creates a foundation of indestructible self-esteem rooted in authenticity and self-respect. Self-acceptance begins with letting go of the idea that you must earn your worth. Society often sends the message that value is conditional, based on achievements, appearance, or approval from others. This belief creates a constant pressure to prove yourself, leaving little room for peace. Recognizing that your worth is inherent, not earned, is a transformative step toward self-acceptance. It shifts your focus from striving for approval to embracing your unique qualities. One of the most powerful aspects of self-acceptance is its ability to silence the inner critic. The voice that points out flaws, replays mistakes, and fuels self-doubt loses its grip when you stop holding yourself to impossible standards. Accepting yourself doesn't mean ignoring areas for growth, but approaching them with compassion rather than judgment. This shift allows you to work on yourself from a place of self-love rather than self-loathing. Self-acceptance also involves embracing imperfection. Flaws are often viewed as weaknesses, but they are an intrinsic part of being human. By acknowledging and accepting your imperfections, you free yourself from the need to appear flawless. This vulnerability strengthens your relationships, as it allows others to see and connect with your authentic self. It also deepens your self-respect, as you learn to value your whole self rather than only the parts that meet external expectations. Another key to self-acceptance is releasing comparisons. Measuring your worth against others only reinforces feelings of inadequacy. Each person's journey is unique, shaped by different experiences, strengths, and challenges. By focusing on your own path and progress, you shift your energy from competing to growing. This focus not only reduces feelings of insecurity, but also fosters a deeper appreciation for your individuality. Self-acceptance also requires challenging the narrative of who you think you should be. Often, this narrative is shaped by societal norms, family expectations, or past experiences. While these influences may have value, they don't define you. Accepting yourself means owning your story, embracing the parts that align with your truth, and letting go of the rest. This ownership is empowering, as it allows you to live authentically rather than according to others' expectations. Another benefit of self-acceptance is the peace it brings. When you stop fighting against yourself, you create space for stillness and contentment. This peace doesn't mean complacency, but a sense of wholeness that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. It allows you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease, as your self-worth is no longer tied to outcomes or opinions. Self-acceptance also strengthens resilience. When you accept yourself fully, you stop seeing setbacks or mistakes as reflections of your worth. Instead, they become opportunities for growth and learning. This perspective reduces the emotional weight of challenges, allowing you to approach them with clarity and confidence. It also reinforces your belief in your ability to overcome difficulties, as your sense of self remains intact, even in the face of adversity. Another aspect of self-acceptance is the freedom it brings from seeking external validation. When you accept yourself, you no longer need others' approval to feel worthy. This independence doesn't mean ignoring feedback, but discerning what aligns with your values and what doesn't. It allows you to stay true to yourself, even when faced with criticism or rejection. Self-acceptance also fosters gratitude. By embracing yourself as enough, you begin to appreciate your strengths, qualities, and achievements. This gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, reinforcing a sense of abundance. It also deepens your connection to yourself, as you learn to celebrate your unique contributions rather than dwell on perceived shortcomings. Another benefit of self-acceptance is its positive impact on relationships. When you accept yourself, you create space for deeper, more authentic connections. You no longer need to hide parts of yourself or seek validation through others, allowing you to engage with people from a place of confidence and openness. This authenticity fosters trust and mutual respect, strengthening your bonds with others. Self-acceptance also encourages you to set boundaries. Accepting yourself means recognizing your needs and limits and honoring them without guilt. These boundaries protect your energy and well-being, ensuring that you prioritize what aligns with your values. This act of self-respect reinforces your self-worth, as you learn to value yourself enough to say no to what doesn't serve you. Another way self-acceptance builds self-esteem is by fostering a sense of purpose. When you stop striving to meet external expectations, you create space to explore what truly matters to you. This exploration allows you to align your actions with your values, creating a life that reflects your authentic self. This alignment not only deepens your sense of fulfillment, but also reinforces your belief in your ability to create a meaningful life. Self-acceptance also involves forgiving yourself. Holding on to guilt or regret only reinforces feelings of unworthiness. Forgiving yourself for past mistakes doesn't mean excusing them, but acknowledging them as part of your growth. This forgiveness frees you from the weight of self-judgment, allowing you to move forward with greater confidence and compassion. Another benefit of self-acceptance is the courage it brings. Accepting yourself as you are requires vulnerability, as it means showing up authentically without hiding behind masks or defenses. This courage strengthens your resilience, as it reminds you that your worth is not dependent on others' perceptions, but on your own belief in yourself. Self-acceptance also fosters creativity and curiosity. When you embrace yourself fully, you stop fearing failure or judgment, allowing you to explore new ideas and experiences freely. This openness enhances your sense of possibility, reminding you that growth is not about perfection, but about exploration and discovery. Ultimately, self-acceptance is about embracing your humanity. It's about recognizing that your worth is not tied to achievements, appearances, or approval, but to the simple fact that you are enough as you are. This acceptance creates a foundation of indestructible self-esteem, allowing you to navigate life with confidence, authenticity, and grace. As you continue to embrace this freedom, you'll discover a sense of peace and empowerment that no external validation can provide. As self-acceptance fortifies your inner peace and strengthens your sense of worth, another challenge surfaces that tests even the most resilient hearts: the experience of feeling ignored or disrespected by your own children. It cuts deeply, stirring emotions that can be overwhelming and leaving you questioning where things went wrong. Yet, within this pain lies an opportunity to apply timeless Stoic principles, guiding not just your actions but also your emotions, enabling you to navigate this complex dynamic with wisdom, patience, and grace. Feeling disregarded by your children does not mean you have failed as a parent. Relationships, like individuals, evolve, and external factors often shape behaviors in ways that are beyond your control. Recognizing this truth is the first step toward reclaiming your peace. By focusing on what you can influence, your own reactions, values, and consistency, you set the stage for positive change without allowing the weight of blame or resentment to consume you. The Stoic approach to such challenges begins with detachment from the need for immediate validation. The natural desire for recognition and respect, especially from one's children, can lead to frustration when unmet. Detachment does not mean indifference. Rather, it is the practice of grounding your self-worth in your own integrity and actions rather than external responses. This shift frees you from the emotional turmoil of unmet expectations while enabling you to approach the situation with clarity. Communication plays a pivotal role in rebuilding connections with your children. When respect feels absent, it's tempting to react with defensiveness or anger, but such responses often widen the gap. Instead, practicing active listening creates an atmosphere of openness. Listening without judgment, even when you disagree, fosters understanding and shows your children that their feelings and perspectives are valued. This act of humility and patience lays the groundwork for mutual respect. It's also essential to examine the underlying causes of their behavior. Often, what seems like disrespect stems from unspoken frustrations, unmet needs, or misunderstandings. Rather than taking their actions personally, approaching the situation with curiosity allows you to uncover the root of the issue. This perspective not only reduces feelings of hurt, but also equips you with the insight needed to address the problem constructively. Leading by example is a cornerstone of Stoic parenting. Children, regardless of age, often reflect the behaviors they observe. Responding to their actions with composure and consistency, even in moments of conflict, demonstrates the values you wish to instill. Your ability to remain calm under pressure not only reinforces your own self-respect, but also teaches them the importance of self-control and empathy. Boundaries are another crucial element in navigating these dynamics. Respect is a two-way street, and establishing clear, respectful boundaries is an act of self-respect and a guidepost for the relationship. Communicating your expectations with firmness, but without hostility, helps define the parameters of acceptable behavior, while also showing your children that you value yourself enough to uphold those standards. Patience is vital when repairing strained relationships. Change rarely happens overnight, and the path to mutual understanding may be filled with setbacks. Patience, however, allows you to maintain perspective, focusing on the long-term goal of fostering a healthier bond rather than being derailed by temporary challenges. This steady approach not only strengthens your resilience, but also demonstrates unwavering commitment to the relationship. Practicing gratitude can also transform the way you view your interactions with your children. Shifting your focus from what is lacking to what is present, their unique qualities, shared experiences, and moments of connection, fosters a sense of appreciation that counteracts feelings of resentment. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but provides balance, reminding you of the love and history that form the foundation of your relationship. Forgiveness is another powerful tool in this process. Holding on to past hurts or grievances, whether toward your children or yourself, creates barriers to healing. Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior, but about releasing the emotional weight it carries. By forgiving, you free yourself from the cycle of resentment, allowing space for growth and reconciliation. It's also essential to nurture your own well-being throughout this journey. Relationships with children, though deeply meaningful, are only one aspect of your life. Engaging in activities that bring you joy, maintaining connections with supportive friends, and dedicating time to your passions reinforce your sense of self outside of your parental role. This balance not only strengthens your resilience, but also models healthy independence for your children. Adopting a perspective of unconditional love provides the foundation for these efforts. Unconditional love doesn't mean accepting disrespect or neglecting your needs. It means maintaining a deep care for your children regardless of their actions. This love serves as a steady anchor, allowing you to approach challenges with compassion rather than reaction. It reminds you that your role as a parent is not to control, but to guide, not to demand, but to inspire. Focusing on small, consistent actions often creates the most profound changes. Whether it's reaching out with a kind message, showing interest in their lives without expectation, or simply being present when they need you, these gestures demonstrate your commitment to the relationship. Over time, these acts build trust, showing your children that respect is earned through consistent care and understanding. Equally important is the willingness to adapt. As your children grow, their needs, perspectives, and dynamics with you will evolve. Remaining open to change, both in them and in yourself, allows the relationship to grow rather than stagnate. This flexibility demonstrates humility and respect for their individuality, fostering a reciprocal sense of value. Viewing this challenge through the lens of Stoic philosophy transforms it from a source of frustration to an opportunity for growth. Every moment of conflict or misunderstanding is a chance to practice patience, empathy, and self-control. These virtues not only strengthen your relationship with your children, but also deepen your connection to yourself, reinforcing your resilience and sense of purpose. The journey of navigating respect and connection with your children is not linear, nor is it without pain. However, by grounding your actions in integrity, focusing on what you can control, and approaching each interaction with compassion, you create a path toward understanding and renewal. This process, rooted in timeless Stoic wisdom, becomes not just a way to address the present challenge, but a foundation for enduring strength and harmony in the relationship. As the challenges of relationships test your patience and resilience, another profound practice emerges: mastering anger. Anger, one of the most consuming emotions, often feels justified in the moment, but leaves behind a trail of regret, damaged relationships, and internal turmoil. Learning to manage and ultimately transcend anger is a transformative step toward a life of clarity, peace, and purposeful action. With Stoicism as your guide, this journey is not about suppressing emotions, but understanding and mastering them. Anger often arises when expectations clash with reality. It is born from the belief that something or someone should have been different. This disconnect creates frustration, fueling feelings of injustice and loss of control. By examining the root causes of anger, you begin to dismantle its power. Understanding that external events are not inherently upsetting, but rather our interpretation of them is, offers the first step in reclaiming your emotional balance. The Stoics taught that anger stems from misplaced focus, expecting the world or others to align perfectly with personal desires. Accepting that life is unpredictable and others act according to their own motivations, not yours, reduces the emotional charge of unmet expectations. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity, but a deliberate choice to focus on what you can influence, freeing you from the turmoil of trying to control what lies beyond your reach. Practicing the pause is another powerful tool against anger. In the heat of the moment, emotions can cloud judgment, leading to reactions that escalate conflicts rather than resolve them. By pausing before responding, you create space to assess the situation with clarity. This moment of stillness is not avoidance, but a conscious effort to choose a response aligned with your values rather than a reflexive outburst. Anger also diminishes when viewed through the lens of empathy. Recognizing that others' actions often stem from their own struggles, fears, or misunderstandings fosters compassion. This perspective shifts your focus from blame to understanding, softening the intensity of anger and opening the door to constructive dialogue. Empathy doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but helps you approach it with wisdom rather than hostility. Understanding the transient nature of anger is another step toward mastery. Emotions, by their nature, are fleeting. What feels overwhelming in the moment often loses its intensity with time. Reminding yourself of this impermanence reduces the urgency to act on anger, allowing you to let it pass without letting it dictate your actions. This practice builds patience and reinforces your sense of control. Channeling anger into purposeful action transforms it from a destructive force into a source of motivation. Anger often highlights areas where change is needed, whether in relationships, systems, or personal habits. By redirecting this energy toward constructive solutions, you not only address the root cause, but also strengthen your sense of agency and empowerment. Another aspect of mastering anger is reframing your perspective. Viewing challenges or conflicts as opportunities to practice patience and self-control turns them into tools for growth. This mindset shift reduces feelings of victimhood, empowering you to respond with strength and clarity. Each moment of anger becomes a chance to reinforce your commitment to inner peace. Letting go of perfectionism also diminishes anger. Much of the frustration that fuels this emotion comes from expecting people or situations to meet unrealistic standards. Embracing imperfection, both in yourself and others, reduces the pressure that breeds anger. This acceptance fosters a sense of ease, allowing you to approach life's challenges with greater flexibility. Anger management also involves questioning the narratives you tell yourself. Often, anger is fueled by assumptions about others' intentions or motivations. By challenging these assumptions and seeking clarity, you prevent misunderstandings from escalating into conflict. This practice not only reduces anger, but also strengthens your relationships through open communication. Practicing gratitude is another antidote to anger. Shifting your focus from what frustrates you to what you appreciate creates a sense of balance and perspective. Gratitude doesn't deny the existence of challenges, but reminds you of the good that coexists with them. This practice reduces the emotional weight of irritations, helping you approach them with greater calm. Physical practices, such as deep breathing or movement, also help manage anger. These techniques regulate the body's stress response, calming the physiological reactions that accompany intense emotions. By grounding yourself in the present moment, you create space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Another powerful practice is focusing on your values. Anger often pulls you away from the person you want to be, leading to actions that contradict your principles. Reconnecting with your values in moments of frustration reminds you of what truly matters, guiding you toward responses that align with your highest self. Mastering anger also involves releasing the need to be right. Many conflicts are fueled by a desire to prove a point or win an argument. Recognizing that peace is often more valuable than victory allows you to prioritize resolution over righteousness. This shift not only reduces anger, but also fosters healthier, more harmonious relationships. Self-reflection is another key to managing anger. Examining your triggers helps you understand the patterns and beliefs that fuel this emotion. By addressing these underlying issues, you reduce the frequency and intensity of anger, creating a foundation for greater emotional balance. Building a practice of forgiveness also frees you from the grip of anger. Holding on to resentment keeps you tied to past hurts, while forgiveness liberates your mind and heart. This act of release doesn't condone harmful behavior, but acknowledges that your peace is more important than holding on to pain. Viewing anger as a teacher rather than an enemy transforms your relationship with this emotion. Anger often highlights unmet needs, unresolved issues, or boundaries that need to be set. By approaching it with curiosity rather than resistance, you uncover valuable insights that support your growth and well-being. Cultivating a sense of humor brings lightness to moments of frustration. Finding the absurdity or irony in a situation reduces its emotional charge, helping you approach challenges with greater ease. Humor doesn't dismiss the seriousness of an issue, but offers a way to navigate it with grace and perspective. Mastering anger is not about suppressing or ignoring emotions, but about understanding and channeling them in ways that serve your highest self. By integrating these practices, you create a life rooted in clarity, compassion, and strength, free from the destructive grip of uncontrolled anger. This journey, guided by Stoic wisdom, leads to a profound sense of inner peace and empowerment. As anger loses its grip and clarity takes its place, another question naturally arises. How can you create a life of consistent growth, balance, and purpose? The answer lies in daily effort, not in grand gestures, but in the small intentional actions you commit to every day. These practices, rooted in Stoic wisdom, provide a foundation for a life of integrity, resilience, and fulfillment. They are not about perfection, but persistence, shaping who you are and how you navigate the world. Each day presents an opportunity to refine your character. Working on yourself daily requires discipline, but it also brings freedom. The choices you make today influence the person you'll be tomorrow. By focusing on consistent effort, you align your actions with your values, creating a sense of purpose that grounds you in an often chaotic world. This is not about chasing fleeting achievements, but building a lasting foundation of inner strength and peace. One key to daily growth is reflecting on your intentions. Before taking action, pausing to consider why you are doing something ensures alignment with your values. This practice fosters mindfulness and prevents you from being swept away by distractions or external pressures. By focusing on what truly matters, you bring purpose to even the smallest tasks. Another area to work on daily is your emotional resilience. Emotions are a natural part of life, but how you respond to them shapes your experience. Practicing techniques like deep breathing, pausing before reacting, or reframing challenges strengthens your ability to navigate difficult moments. This resilience allows you to face life's ups and downs with steadiness and grace. Self-awareness is another vital practice. Taking time each day to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and reactions deepens your understanding of yourself. This awareness helps you identify patterns, celebrate progress, and address areas for improvement. It is a tool for growth, reminding you that every day is an opportunity to learn and evolve. Gratitude is a daily practice that transforms your perspective. Focusing on what you appreciate shifts your attention from lack to abundance. It fosters a sense of contentment and joy, even amid challenges. Gratitude doesn't ignore difficulties, but balances them with an awareness of life's blessings, creating a sense of balance and peace. Another area to focus on is building positive habits. Consistent effort in areas like physical activity, healthy eating, or mindfulness practices creates a foundation for long-term well-being. These habits are not about instant results, but gradual, sustainable change. Each day of commitment strengthens your discipline and reinforces your belief in your ability to create a fulfilling life. Practicing kindness is another daily effort that enriches your life and the lives of those around you. Small acts of compassion, whether it's offering a kind word, helping someone in need, or simply being present for a friend, create ripples of positivity. Kindness also strengthens your connection to others, reminding you of the shared humanity that binds us all. Working on your mindset each day is crucial. Thoughts shape actions, and actions shape outcomes. Cultivating a positive, solution-oriented mindset helps you approach challenges with confidence and creativity. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties, but choosing to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. Over time, this mindset becomes a habit, reinforcing your resilience and optimism. Fostering humility is another essential practice. Acknowledging your limitations and remaining open to learning creates a space for growth. Humility is not about diminishing yourself, but recognizing that growth is a lifelong journey. This openness to change and improvement strengthens your relationships and deepens your sense of purpose. Another daily effort is nurturing your relationships. Taking time to connect with loved ones, express appreciation, or resolve conflicts reinforces the bonds that sustain you. Relationships require attention and care, and the effort you put into them reflects your values and priorities. By investing in these connections, you create a support system that enriches your life and theirs. Daily focus on self-discipline builds a foundation for long-term success. Discipline is not about rigid control, but about making choices that align with your goals and values. Each small act of discipline, whether it's sticking to a plan, resisting a temptation, or following through on a commitment, reinforces your sense of integrity and capability. Engaging in meaningful work each day adds purpose to your efforts. This doesn't mean every task must be monumental, but that you approach your responsibilities with intention and care. Whether it's your career, personal projects, or acts of service, bringing meaning to your work deepens your connection to your values and strengthens your sense of fulfillment. Daily effort in cultivating patience is also essential. Life often unfolds on its own timeline, and rushing the process leads to frustration and missed opportunities for growth. Practicing patience teaches you to trust the journey and appreciate the present moment. It fosters resilience and helps you navigate challenges with greater ease. Another area to work on is your sense of balance. Life's demands can pull you in many directions, but finding time to rest and recharge is vital. Balance doesn't mean doing everything equally, but prioritizing what matters most and creating space for self-care. This practice reinforces your well-being and ensures you have the energy to sustain your efforts. Working on your ability to adapt is also crucial. Change is inevitable, and those who thrive are those who embrace it. Each day offers opportunities to practice flexibility, whether it's adjusting to new circumstances, trying a different approach, or letting go of what no longer serves you. This adaptability strengthens your resilience and prepares you for life's uncertainties. The effort to seek knowledge and understanding each day keeps your mind sharp and your perspective broad. Learning is a lifelong process, and daily curiosity fuels your growth. Whether it's reading, exploring new ideas, or engaging in meaningful conversations, this effort deepens your connection to the world and expands your potential. Working on your sense of purpose ties all these efforts together. Purpose is the thread that connects your actions, values, and goals. By reflecting on what drives you and aligning your daily efforts with that purpose, you create a life of meaning and fulfillment. Purpose is not static, but evolves with you, guiding your choices and shaping your journey. These daily practices, rooted in Stoic wisdom, are not about perfection, but progress. Each day is an opportunity to refine your character, deepen your connections, and align your actions with your values. By committing to these efforts, you create a life of integrity, resilience, and purpose, grounded in the steady rhythm of consistent growth. As the daily effort to align actions with purpose builds a life of meaning, another profound truth emerges. Sometimes, the most powerful step forward is letting go. Holding on to what no longer serves you, whether it's resentment, fear, expectations, or attachments, only creates resistance. Letting go is not about giving up, but about making space for what truly matters, clearing the way to attract everything aligned with your values and desires. This transformative act requires courage, clarity, and the wisdom to trust the process. Letting go begins with understanding what holds you back. Often, it's not the circumstances themselves, but the meaning you've attached to them. Identifying these attachments is the first step toward freedom. Whether it's a fear of failure, the need for validation, or a lingering hurt, bringing awareness to these burdens allows you to release their grip on your life. The act of letting go requires trust in the flow of life. Clinging to control stems from a fear of uncertainty, yet life's unpredictability is what makes growth possible. By accepting that not everything is within your control, you release the need to micromanage outcomes. This trust creates space for opportunities to unfold naturally, aligned with your true purpose. Letting go also involves releasing resentment. Holding on to anger or grudges ties you to the very pain you wish to escape. Forgiveness, whether for others or yourself, is a powerful act of liberation. It's not about excusing harm, but about choosing your peace over the weight of bitterness. This release clears emotional clutter, allowing you to focus on what uplifts and empowers you. Another aspect of letting go is detaching from outcomes. Desiring success, love, or happiness is natural, but attaching your worth or joy to specific results creates unnecessary suffering. Letting go of the need to control how things unfold doesn't mean abandoning your goals, but approaching them with openness. This detachment allows you to move forward with clarity, free from the fear of failure or disappointment. Letting go also means releasing comparisons. Measuring your journey against others' paths only breeds dissatisfaction. Each person's circumstances, challenges, and opportunities are unique. Shifting your focus to your own growth and progress allows you to appreciate your achievements without diminishing them through comparison. This perspective fosters contentment and confidence, attracting what resonates with your authentic self. Releasing material attachments is another powerful step. Accumulating possessions or wealth as a measure of success often leads to emptiness rather than fulfillment. Letting go of the belief that your worth is tied to what you own shifts your focus to experiences, relationships, and inner growth. This shift not only lightens your emotional load, but also aligns you with what truly enriches life. Letting go also involves surrendering perfectionism. The need to be flawless creates an endless cycle of stress and self-doubt. Accepting your imperfections doesn't mean complacency, but recognizing that growth comes from embracing your humanity. This acceptance fosters self-compassion and resilience, freeing you from the pressure to meet unrealistic standards. Another secret to letting go is focusing on gratitude. Gratitude shifts your energy from lack to abundance, reminding you of the good that already exists in your life. This practice not only reduces the urge to cling to what you think you need, but also creates a sense of peace and openness to receiving more. Gratitude attracts positive energy and opportunities, reinforcing a mindset of possibility. Letting go also requires setting boundaries. Holding on to toxic relationships, habits, or environments drains your energy and limits your growth. By creating boundaries, you protect your well-being and make space for connections and experiences that align with your values. This act of self-respect signals your readiness to receive what truly supports your journey. Embracing the present moment is another essential practice. Holding on to the past or worrying about the future robs you of the joy and opportunities of now. Mindfulness anchors you in the present, allowing you to engage fully with life as it unfolds. This presence not only reduces stress, but also enhances your ability to attract what resonates with your authentic self. Letting go also involves re-examining your expectations. Rigid expectations often lead to disappointment, while flexibility creates room for growth and discovery. By releasing the need for things to unfold in a specific way, you open yourself to possibilities beyond what you envisioned. This openness attracts experiences and outcomes that align more closely with your true path. Another secret to letting go is practicing self-trust. Fear of letting go often stems from a lack of confidence in your ability to navigate what comes next. Building self-trust through small, consistent actions reinforces your belief in your resilience and capability. This trust empowers you to release what no longer serves you, knowing you have the strength to thrive. Releasing fear is another transformative step. Fear often keeps you clinging to the familiar, even when it no longer aligns with your values. Facing your fears with courage and compassion allows you to move through them, freeing yourself from their hold. This freedom creates space for growth and opportunities, aligning you with what truly supports your journey. Letting go also involves cultivating patience. The process of releasing attachments and attracting what you deserve takes time. Rushing the process only creates frustration. By trusting the journey and remaining patient, you allow the unfolding of growth and opportunities to occur naturally. This patience reinforces your resilience and sense of peace. Ultimately, letting go is about aligning with your true self. It's about releasing what no longer resonates with your values and priorities, creating space for what does. This alignment not only attracts what supports your growth, but also deepens your connection to your purpose. Letting go is not a loss, but a transformation, a stepping stone toward a life of authenticity, fulfillment, and abundance. By embracing this practice, you unlock the freedom to live fully and receive everything that truly belongs to you. As the act of letting go creates space for alignment and abundance, another fundamental challenge comes to light: the battle with insecurity. It's a quiet, persistent force that questions your worth and ability, casting doubt where confidence should stand firm. But insecurity is not an unchangeable part of who you are. It can be understood, challenged, and transformed. With Stoicism as a guide, you can uncover the tools to silence self-doubt and step into a life anchored in self-belief and unshakable inner strength. Insecurity often takes root in comparison. The urge to measure yourself against others creates a cycle of dissatisfaction, magnifying perceived shortcomings while diminishing unique strengths. The first step to overcoming this is to redirect your focus inward. Recognizing that your value is not tied to external benchmarks allows you to appreciate your individuality. By working each day to refine your own abilities and character, you shift from seeking validation outside yourself to cultivating confidence within. The Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control is a cornerstone in addressing insecurity. Many insecurities arise from worrying about others' opinions or outcomes you cannot influence. Redirecting your energy to what lies within your control, your actions, attitudes, and growth, empowers you. This shift frees you from the exhausting pursuit of external approval, grounding your self-esteem in effort and intention rather than results. Another key to overcoming insecurity is embracing imperfection. The pursuit of flawlessness is a trap, creating unattainable standards that fuel feelings of inadequacy. Accepting that mistakes are a natural part of growth liberates you from the pressure to perform perfectly. Each misstep becomes a lesson rather than a failure, reinforcing resilience and self-compassion. This perspective helps you see that your worth is not diminished by imperfections, but enhanced by your willingness to learn and grow. Building emotional independence is also essential. Insecurity often thrives when your sense of self-worth depends on others' validation. Cultivating a deep connection with your values and principles allows you to define yourself from within rather than through external opinions. This independence fosters confidence as you learn to trust your judgment and choices without being swayed by others' perceptions. Reframing challenges as opportunities for growth is another powerful practice. Insecurity can make obstacles feel insurmountable, feeding fears of failure. By viewing challenges as tools for development, you shift your mindset from avoidance to engagement. This approach not only diminishes fear, but also builds confidence, as each conquered challenge reinforces your belief in your abilities. Practicing gratitude helps counteract insecurity by shifting your focus from lack to abundance. Insecurity often stems from dwelling on what you believe you're missing, whether it's skills, recognition, or success. Gratitude reminds you of your strengths, achievements, and progress, creating a foundation of self-appreciation. This practice nurtures a sense of contentment, reducing the grip of self-doubt. Developing self-awareness is another critical step. Insecurity is often fueled by unconscious patterns of thought or behavior. Taking time to reflect on what triggers your insecurities and why helps you uncover the root causes. This awareness empowers you to challenge negative narratives and replace them with constructive perspectives, creating a more supportive inner dialogue. Setting boundaries is also essential in overcoming insecurity. Allowing others' opinions or actions to dictate your self-worth leaves you vulnerable to doubt. By establishing clear limits around what influences you, you protect your sense of self. This boundary setting is an act of self-respect, reinforcing your value and prioritizing your well-being. Another key to addressing insecurity is focusing on progress rather than perfection. Celebrating small wins and acknowledging incremental growth creates momentum and reinforces self-belief. This focus helps you see that building confidence is a journey, not a destination, encouraging persistence and patience as you develop inner strength. Letting go of the need for external validation is transformative. Insecurity often stems from seeking approval to affirm your worth. By releasing this need and cultivating self-approval, you take ownership of your value. This shift empowers you to act in alignment with your principles, creating a sense of freedom and confidence that is independent of others' opinions. Stoic detachment is another vital practice in addressing insecurity. By recognizing that your worth is not tied to outcomes or possessions, you create a stable foundation for confidence. This detachment allows you to approach challenges and opportunities with clarity, knowing that your value remains unchanged regardless of success or failure. Practicing compassion, both for yourself and others, also helps dissolve insecurity. Judging yourself harshly creates a cycle of self-doubt, while extending understanding to yourself fosters growth and resilience. Compassion for others, too, reminds you that everyone has their struggles, reducing feelings of isolation and comparison. Another effective practice is visualizing your highest self. Reflecting on the person you aspire to be and aligning your actions with that vision reinforces your confidence. Each decision and effort becomes a step toward that ideal, affirming your progress and strengthening your belief in your capabilities. Insecurity often thrives in the absence of purpose. Connecting with your values and defining your goals provides a sense of direction that transcends self-doubt. Purposeful action focuses your energy on meaningful pursuits, reducing the influence of insecurity by grounding you in what truly matters. Mindfulness is another powerful tool in overcoming insecurity. Insecurity often pulls you into the past, dwelling on mistakes, or into the future, fearing failure. Anchoring yourself in the present through mindful practices helps you engage fully with the moment, reducing anxiety and enhancing self-awareness. This presence fosters a sense of calm and confidence, reminding you that you are capable of handling what comes your way. Investing in self-care also combats insecurity. Taking time to nurture your physical, mental, and emotional health reinforces your sense of worth. This care is not indulgence, but an essential practice, signaling to yourself that you deserve to be prioritized and valued. Another transformative practice is reframing criticism. Instead of viewing it as a threat, consider it an opportunity for growth. Not all criticism is constructive, but by evaluating it through the lens of your values and goals, you can extract valuable insights while discarding what doesn't serve you. This perspective reduces the sting of criticism, allowing you to approach feedback with curiosity rather than defensiveness. Practicing courage in small daily actions builds confidence. Insecurity often holds you back from taking risks or stepping out of your comfort zone. Each time you act despite fear, you prove to yourself that you are capable and resilient. These small acts of bravery accumulate, strengthening your belief in your ability to navigate challenges and achieve your goals. Addressing insecurity is not about erasing doubt entirely, but about learning to navigate it with wisdom and resilience. Each effort to understand, challenge, and transform insecurity brings you closer to a life of confidence, freedom, and fulfillment. These Stoic keys, applied consistently, create a foundation of inner strength that empowers you to move forward with clarity and self-belief. As insecurity begins to dissolve under the clarity of self-awareness and purposeful action, a deeper question arises. How do you truly shape the foundation of your thoughts and beliefs to align with success? The answer lies in reprogramming your subconscious mind. This part of your psyche, operating beneath your conscious awareness, drives your habits, reactions, and even your perception of what is possible. Stoicism provides the tools to guide this process, empowering you to take control of the patterns that dictate your life and redirect them toward growth, resilience, and fulfillment. Reprogramming the subconscious begins with understanding its nature. The subconscious mind is not a passive observer. It is a powerful force shaped by repetition, emotional intensity, and the narratives you feed it. Every thought, belief, and experience contributes to this programming. Recognizing this influence is the first step in reclaiming your power. By deliberately choosing what you expose your mind to, you begin to reshape its foundation. The practice of intentional thought is essential in this process. Your subconscious mind absorbs what you consistently focus on. By directing your attention to empowering and constructive ideas, you overwrite patterns of doubt, fear, or limitation. This practice is not about ignoring challenges, but about reinforcing beliefs that serve your growth. Repeated exposure to positive affirmations, reflective writing, or purposeful visualization strengthens these new patterns. Stoic reflection provides a unique framework for this reprogramming. Taking time to assess your daily actions, thoughts, and decisions helps you identify recurring patterns that hinder your progress. By examining these patterns without judgment, you create an opportunity to replace them with conscious choices. This practice aligns your subconscious programming with your values, reinforcing a sense of clarity and purpose. Another powerful tool is the reframing of past experiences. Many subconscious patterns are rooted in memories or interpretations of events. Revisiting these experiences through the lens of Stoic wisdom allows you to extract lessons rather than hold on to pain or regret. This perspective transforms challenges into stepping stones, reprogramming your subconscious to see adversity as an opportunity rather than a setback. Gratitude is another cornerstone in this process. Focusing on what you appreciate shifts your subconscious focus from scarcity to abundance. This shift creates a foundation of positivity, reinforcing the belief that you have the resources and resilience to succeed. Gratitude doesn't ignore difficulties, but balances them with an awareness of your strengths and progress, fostering a mindset of possibility. Consistency is key in reprogramming the subconscious. The mind thrives on repetition, and sustained effort creates lasting change. Small, daily practices like journaling, meditation, or reviewing affirmations reinforce new patterns, embedding them deeply in your subconscious. Over time, these practices become second nature, guiding your actions and decisions effortlessly. Emotional regulation plays a crucial role in this process. Emotions amplify the impact of experiences and thoughts on your subconscious mind. Learning to manage and channel your emotions effectively enhances your ability to program your mind for success. Techniques like mindful breathing or practicing equanimity during challenges reduce emotional reactivity, allowing you to focus on constructive responses. Visualization is another transformative tool. By vividly imagining the outcomes you desire, you create a mental blueprint for success. This practice engages your subconscious mind, reinforcing belief in your ability to achieve your goals. Visualization is not about fantasy, but about aligning your inner perception with your outer actions, creating a sense of certainty and direction. Self-talk is a critical element in subconscious reprogramming. The words you use to describe yourself and your abilities shape your beliefs. Replacing negative or limiting language with affirming and empowering phrases rewires your subconscious narrative. This practice requires mindfulness and persistence, but creates profound shifts in how you perceive and approach challenges. Stoic detachment also plays a role in this process. Letting go of attachment to specific outcomes frees your mind from the stress of control and perfectionism. This detachment doesn't diminish your efforts, but allows you to focus on the process rather than the results. This mindset creates a sense of peace and adaptability, enabling you to navigate challenges without losing sight of your goals. Reprogramming your subconscious also involves aligning your environment with your values. Your surroundings, relationships, and habits influence your subconscious mind more than you may realize. Choosing spaces and people that uplift and inspire you reinforces positive patterns, creating a supportive framework for success. Another important practice is developing resilience through failure. Subconscious fears often stem from a fear of making mistakes. By reframing failure as a natural part of growth, you dismantle these fears and build confidence in your ability to overcome setbacks. This perspective not only reprograms your response to challenges, but also strengthens your belief in your potential. Mindfulness anchors this entire process. By staying present and aware, you create space to observe and adjust your subconscious patterns. This awareness helps you identify when old beliefs resurface and choose new, empowering ones instead. Mindfulness also enhances your connection to the present moment, reducing stress and fostering clarity. Cultivating patience is essential in subconscious reprogramming. Change takes time, and rushing the process only creates frustration. Trusting the journey and committing to small, consistent actions builds momentum and reinforces your belief in the power of persistence. This patience fosters resilience and a sense of peace, reducing the temptation to revert to old patterns. Another transformative practice is focusing on your values. Your subconscious mind thrives on clarity and alignment. By grounding your actions and thoughts in your core values, you create a sense of purpose that guides your subconscious programming. This alignment reduces internal conflict and reinforces your commitment to your goals. The practice of self-compassion is also crucial. Reprogramming your subconscious is not a linear process, and setbacks are natural. Approaching yourself with kindness and understanding creates a supportive environment for growth. This compassion strengthens your resilience, reminding you that progress is more important than perfection. Engaging in reflective writing deepens this process. Journaling about your goals, challenges, and insights helps clarify your intentions and reinforce positive patterns. This practice provides a tangible record of your growth, reminding you of your progress and inspiring continued effort. Ultimately, reprogramming your subconscious for success is about creating alignment between your inner beliefs and outer actions. It's about choosing thoughts, practices, and environments that reflect your values and goals. This process, guided by Stoic principles, empowers you to take ownership of your mind and your life. transforming subconscious limitations into conscious possibilities. With persistence and clarity, you build a foundation of resilience, confidence, and purpose that supports your journey toward success. The journey to building indestructible self-esteem is not about seeking perfection. It's about embracing the strength and resilience already within you. Each of the Stoic keys, shifting your focus inward, mastering self-control, letting go of material and emotional attachments, and aligning with your true values, reminds you that your worth is rooted in your actions, not external validation. As you practice gratitude, reframe challenges, and anchor yourself in self-acceptance, you create a foundation of confidence that remains steady no matter what life brings. Every moment is an opportunity to reinforce your self-esteem, to act with integrity, and to grow into the person you're capable of becoming. Stoic wisdom is your compass, guiding you toward a life of purpose, authenticity, and unshakable inner strength. This isn't just philosophy, it's a way of living that empowers you to navigate the world with clarity and courage. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these Stoic keys resonates most with you? Share your insights or personal experiences in the comments below. Let's build a community of growth and encouragement. And if you found value in this journey, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay connected for more transformative insights that guide you toward a stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled life. Together, let's keep growing.